All right. Everybody here after almost 2 months, we got the episode 5 of the Pro Stupid podcast. Yeah, I'm Vinnie Vincent Anthony. I'm here hosting, obviously. And today I have my good friend, first roommate ever, improv friend, Chris Tevdt.
Tevdt. 14 years later. Yeah.
Yeah, well, look at his name.
Give me a fucking name.
Yeah, look at his name. You can't. That's not a normal name. You used to call him Christ forever.
Christ. I've gotten.
It's close.
Gotta buy
Yeah,
some,
well, no, it's Chris T.
gotta buy some vowels, bud.
Buy some vowels. Oh, shit. Yeah. What's up? My name's Chris. Chris Tevdt. I've known Vinnie fucking 2007.
Wow.
Jesus Christ, dude. My arthritis is kicking in.
Yeah, no,
Saying
being old
that.
sucks.
Dude, it's terrible. Yeah.
Skateboarder, improver,
I love-
bartender.
Bartending, skate proving,
Skate
improv,
tending.
skate tending. I try to make the people laugh, you know what I mean? And then I drop some beats and then I do a trick, it's pretty good. No, I mean, yeah, I live in Lancaster City now. I've been there for 11 years and just trying to pull as many Lancaster girls as I can before I die. I'm kidding, but I'm not.
And then next we also we got, Goran Drajovic, or Goran Z, because his last name's impossible to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Hello.
Goran's here.
Hello, everybody. My name is Gordon. I climb trees and I break knees.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
Wow, what an intro.
go. Fucking Slavic.
And then we got Mike Liberatore on the sound. Oh man, so it's been a long time. Lots of things have happened since the last show. But so I guess today we'll start out with something that I think all of us are be pretty surprised with. Did anybody figure out anybody hear about what Jon Stewart did?
No, what do you do?
No.
Jon Stewart
Oh no.
went to Disney World
Okay.
and gave a medal
Okay.
to a Nazi.
Did he know this was a Nazi?
Of course he didn't know the Nazi.
He's fucking.
But
He's pretty Jewish.
yeah, exactly.
He's very
Dude,
Jewish.
if
Last name's Leibowitz.
Dude,
Yeah.
Walt, what's the
Wow.
opposite of rolling your grave? Walt Disney was like, yeah.
He's shot out of the grave.
Shot out of the
it's
grave, was
a
brought
cake.
back to life.
Like it's a cake.
Wait, so what was the circumstance?
So one of the people from the Nazi part of Ukraine, I forget whatever battalion, it's the battalion. Anyways, he I guess was in America and at Disney World, and they were like, "Oh, veterans" and stuff like that, and
Fair.
yeah. And so he just gave him a medal being like, "Oh, thank you for your service," not knowing this dude's got a Nazi black sun tattoo on his elbow.
Oh.
The guy had it covered when he got the medal, so
Sure, well-
but still, it's like one of those things, and every news source is just ignoring it. Everyone's pretending like it's not a big deal. And you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
Jon Stewart's podcast is called Full Nazi.
Oh wow.
That was a joke he played on everybody. Ew.
And he's like so fucking cool too.
Oh, dude, Jon Stewart used to be awesome, but yeah.
Dude, he's the man, and dude, he's gonna come back from this so easily though, because he's so likable.
Oh, dude, he's not gonna. Nothing's gonna happen to him
No.
because he's part of the. You know what I mean? He's part of the establishment stuff. It sucks. It's one of those things for me. I'm like, I used to love Jon Stewart so much, but
I still do.
during Corona, he was one of the very few people that finally told when he went on Colbert.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, and
Like,
it was like pretty
they
much
actually
just being
challenged
like,
him.
the name of the virus is
Is the on the building of
yeah.
the lab where it came from?
Yeah, and he was like, the name, got in front of the camera, he's like, the name of the virus.
Yes. He also came out and against Congress, like they were trying to cut some kind of bill for 9/11 or
No, for veterans, he's been doing that. That's dude, that was someone's thing on Twitter. They were like, maybe he loves veterans so much that he doesn't even care if they're Nazi veterans.
He's inclusive.
That's pretty tolerant of him.
He's very tolerant.
Very tolerant, yeah.
Yeah, but dude, think about that.
That's what we're naming Nazi.
It's
world.
one of those things that's so crazy, and yeah, it's all over Twitter, and everyone's pointing it out, and yeah, it's just funny because besides Twitter, no one else cares. Everyone's just like, "Brr." Yeah.
I wonder if The Simpsons predicted that.
Yeah.
Like, no, he was just wearing a Black Lives Matter band on his arm. That wasn't Nazi.
No, it's definitely a Nazi tattoo on us. They have pictures of the dude in the hospital, and you can see it and all that kind of stuff. And, yeah, but dude, we've been ignoring that there's Nazis in Ukraine fighting on the side of Ukraine the entire war.
Oh yeah. Save
Yeah.
Ukraine, support Ukraine.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Well, dude, no, everyone's still all about Ukraine.
2 weeks
and,
happened to it.
Yeah.
It's fucking-
Time.
Yeah, America happened to it. Everyone's like, wait, am I affected at all?
The Queen's
No.
dead, so I only have that much brain power to
Lizzo.
Don't jump ahead.
Lizzo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was
big
on the
girls.
itinerary.
Let's support your big girls.
Yeah. No, dude, she got in trouble for saying spaz?
What'd she say? Spaz?
Yeah, she said spaz and came out. and
Whatever. She had
was
to
like-
apologize.
Was like, sorry for that ableist comment.
Oh, dude.
Oh man, did you see the other thing where it was like here talking about how she was oppressed?
Who's this?
She's oppressed.
She's oppressed.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh yeah,
know.
totally.
Is she?
By gravity.
Oh no. Oh, Vinnie. No.
Sorry.
Where's the lie?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
dude, she's
Tell me the
worst.
lie.
Dude, she's killing it though. Like she has so much money, she doesn't give a fuck. Like
Yeah, no, dude. The thing with Lizzo is just the whole thing of like, dude, the fact that I just don't like. This is the thing. If you're fat and you don't care, it's cool. Just stop trying to tell people it's healthy.
Oh yeah, that's because it's
Or like change the definition of health. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
what-
that's
what health
Healthy
means.
at any size is not real.
Or even I would even go as far to say is beauty, because
hits vape.
sorry, there might be a group of people who prefer bigger women or bigger whatever, but like
Oh yeah.
there is still a standard of beauty that like people kind of gravitate toward.
Yeah, dude. Healthy at any
Naturally.
size is not a real thing. If you're 600 pounds, you're not healthy. Your heart's stressing. And this is coming from somebody who's I'm not healthy. Chris is, you know what I mean? We're all, well, not me, but me and Chris are definitely a little bigger. We're like, but like, it's one of those things.
What are
where
you
it's not
trying to
like-
say, mate?
I'm saying
we're
we've,
the best shape of my life over here.
yeah, if it's a round shape.
You're round.
Yeah.
You just rock hard.
No, dude, me and Chris used to get at it though. Me and Chris
Oh,
used to be
man.
in decent and
We
pretty
were in
good
good shape. We're
Dude, one time Chris and my friend Jan kicked Russ's ass when Russ
Oh,
was
that was
like
so fun.
way bigger than him.
I
and
love
was-
that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Because
But,
Russ,
wait, go on.
I told you about this because like Russ was like, I could beat you,
Oh, right.
and I
right,
was
right,
like, no, you can't. And he's like, no, dude, I can totally beat you. And yeah, Russ is a big man.
Russ, strong dude.
He's a big, but like the thing
But
is, like,
never in a fight in his life.
never in a fight. Like I wrestled when I was in martial arts, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna own this kid, and I just tired him out.
Yeah.
And like that's all it was conditioning.
Oh, it was
you
it was
know.
funny just watching. It was funny watching Chris like put moves on him, but then Russ just being strong, being like, "Get off,"
Just lifting me up.
So- but not knowing what to do, like completely untrained. So just being like, "No, stop, stop."
Yep.
Like-
two blunts a day is, you know,
We're all-
Russ's conditioning.
Yeah, Russ-
Where all he's doing is not preventing the inevitable. He's just slowing it down.
Yeah, no, it was just one of those things where, yeah, Chris was just like a rabid dog, just like throwing around. It was so funny. It was literally the middle of the night with only the lamppost outside.
remember
with
that.
enough
That's
light.
that's
Yeah.
usually how they happen. Yeah.
Oh, it was funny.
It was good times.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Choked out by moonlit night.
Choked up, dude. I knew no jujitsu at that point.
Yeah, but you wrestled that,
I
right?
wrestled.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pure
that's a
wrestling.
good foundation.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
At least against Russ.
yeah.
yeah,
Dude,
it's- yeah.
Russ a
anybody's not
fucking
trained.
football player, dude.
Dude, Russ was at that time. Russ was curling 50 pounds and like easy.
Strong
And
man.
that's how
And
strong.
yawning.
Dude, that's when he was. That's when Russ was. Yeah,
He's a big man.
he's a monster. Well, he was a monster back then. He's not. He's played basketball. He's like lost a lot of
And down.
strength.
LBs.
He's slimmed down a lot.
Yeah.
But still big dude. Still strong. But yeah. No,
Dude.
back then that's when he was playing football, offensive line. Stuff
Dude,
like
he
that.
was like being looked at by like real colleges.
Oh yeah, no, he was.
like-
he played
Really?
for. He got onto Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, he was playing for Carnegie Mellon. He was got, but the thing is they told him to gain weight, and he, of course, rusted and
No.
lost weight, and was
Yeah.
like, "I want to play tight end." They're like, "Dude, we gave you a scholarship, or
No.
we're thinking about giving you a scholarship to play offensive line."
Can you please go to lunch and eat everything?
Yeah,
Because no, you're not going to catch the ball.
yeah, no, they just didn't. Yeah, it's one of those things at college. Yeah, they got there.
We're gonna need you to not think.
We're gonna need you to eat
Yeah.
and fucking push some people around.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, that was
Alright.
exactly.
Can you do that?
Can you do that?
But yeah, Chris when he lived here, he was all about stuff. He was doing yoga, and he was 5 in the morning horse stances in the dark of night.
Oh, I forgot about that.
What's a horse stand?
Let me do it.
Kinda.
Let me get fucking. All right.
I don't know if the camera's gonna get it.
I would fucking, dude. I do remember doing
Fine.
this shit. And these guys would fucking trash me all the time. So I would be like, I'd be like doing this, and I'd be like,
Oh, it's the
training,
moped position.
training, and then they'd be like, everywhere we'd go, like Russ would be like, parkour.
Oh, dude, we used to tease him about he had like a board that was in the ground. The reason I never really cared until like there was multiple times where I woke up at like 5 in the morning to piss and it was in the basement. It was like pitch black, and I'd like run into him. I'd be like, "Dude, what?" And he'd be like, "I'm doing horse stance." I'm like, "Dude,
Yay.
yeah, exactly."
Yeah, I grew up watching Jean-Claude Van Damme, dude. Fucking
John Claw's damn van.
dude. I was trying to
Dude,
be
that
a
guy's a beast.
motherfucker.
That guy's like, that guy's probably David Goggins level of crazy, like as far as like some martial arts.
Dude, he's like almost 70 and he's a fucking freak.
And he looks
So,
like he's 40.
dude, he's a
Meanwhile,
beast.
Chuck Norris
Yo,
looks
speaking
like,
of that, did you see Stallone's new movie?
I didn't see-
Samaritan.
Yeah, I heard
I
about
didn't
it.
see it. I just saw him with the hoodie and I was like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch that.
I saw some people making fun of it already. It's pretty good.
Dude, he's fucking. Dude,
Yeah.
he's Stallone.
He's so old.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
Dude, that's the
yeah,
thing I don't
yeah.
understand. Like Hollywood are they ever going to create anything new? I wish I could remember.
I'm waiting for the
But-
remakes of remakes.
Yeah.
Dude, but that's all they do. They just keep remaking crap. Nothing's new. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
trying to think. They're starting to take like older stories, like
yeah, when's the Huck Finn movie coming out?
yeah, shit like that, like
Exactly.
like murder mysteries,
Oh, shit.
and like
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, Murder on the Orient Express.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
It's
and
like,
then we're gonna
oh.
put Johnny Depp in it, you know, and
Right.
but that's the thing they do. They don't let
Mhm.
like it. Who's breaking
Murder
in?
at
that's-
Park at 6 p.m.
Besides like Chris
Yeah,
Pratt,
Murder in
like
a porta potty.
Chris Pratt, like who else is coming up that's like new and is just like a staple in everything?
I got it. Ezra Miller. You seen this?
Not
shit?
anymore.
You
Not
seen
anymore.
This shit?
He's
This
wild now.
fucker? You seen what Ezra Miller's been doing?
No.
Okay,
Crazy shit.
so have you ever seen We Need to Talk About Kevin? It's an awesome.
I heard
movie.
about it. I think I heard about it.
Do I gotta speak up a little? Oh, you want the thing? John C. Riley. it's a great cast, great movie. John C. Riley, Tilda Swinton, Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller plays this kid who his mom notices at an early age that he's a fucking psychopath. What are you gonna do? And like he's constantly just messing with their heads, you know. And they're like, "Oh, it's just," and the dad's like, you know, making up for it, like, "Oh, it's just our son. It's just our
It's like The Good Son.
Oh, dude, the good son. Similar, right? And then, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, he like gets all these kids in the gymnasium. He locks the doors
Oh boy.
and he stands up on the bleachers with a bow and arrow and just starts taking them out.
Oh, wow.
And so but he looks like a psychopath in the movie, and you're like, wow, this guy's a really good actor. Turns out in real life,
Oh, that's
He's a real psychopath.
he's a real psychopath.
Yeah.
Oh wait, didn't he like kidnap somebody or something?
Do you
Yeah.
remember when the whole shit at Standing Rock happened like a couple of years ago with the pipeline, and there were all the Native Americans and shit? So Ezra Miller, I don't know if Ezra Miller is like
Native American.
Native American,
Indigenous.
indigenous.
Oh no, Mike, dude, that's plugged in. That means it's been buzzing the whole time. Oh
We lost all that.
no, we didn't lose anything. It's
Okay.
just that when it's plugged into the wall, we get a buzz.
So anyway, he goes there and
we get
he's
a
like a
buzz.
big name actor and he has money and he's supporting the indigenous peoples, and he befriends this like 12-year-old girl,
Mm.
and he's like in with their family and they just think he's this supportive celebrity, but he keeps in contact with this girl for like 6 years, and then when she's 18 she just takes off with him. So that's called grooming.
Mm.
Yeah.
And like there's like been other stories. There's this video of him choking a woman, choking a fan.
What?
Yeah. And like, dude, he's a
What's a big deal? Everyone's got a video. I'm choking.
yeah, but dude, he just like
I saw
you know
some,
what it
like-
is? He
I saw
looks,
some police footage of him.
I
Too.
love yes,
He's money.
he's through there. Yeah.
dude, he just looks. You know what it is? He looks like that fucking asshole at a party that you fucking hate, but you know he's attractive.
He's gonna get like he's entertaining all the girls.
Yeah,
He's
so-
entertaining all the girls.
So the boyfriend of the girl that you like.
oh,
That's
dude, that's him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then he's got like that lingo like the current lingo that like wins his favor in any situation. I just fucking hate him. And he's the Flash.
Yep.
And
oh, that's right. That's right.
and so like he was good as the Flash, and he was also good in Harry Potter the second run with like
Who's he in that?
Crimes of Grindelwald and shit.
Oh, the Fantastic Beast.
Yeah.
He's Moriarty. He's Moriarty. I think,
what is
right?
it called?
Is he Moriarty or not?
No,
Moriarty? What's
he's
his
nothing
name?
like that. He's like a smaller
Fantastic Beasts. Yeah, that's the whole thing where it's like, what's his
Dumbledore.
Dumbledore's gay.
Dumbledore's
Dumbledore's
gay.
gay.
That's why I stopped
Everyone's
watching it.
gay.
I stopped watching it. It ruined the movie for me.
Yeah, it's
When he was gay.
I feel like it's just yeah. It bothered me.
Did it? Oh shit!
It ruined Harry Potter.
It made it better for me.
No. I don't know what movie
Chris
you
was
were
like,
watching.
I'm hoping. I was hoping.
That motherfucker's gay, man.
Here's why I have
Give
a
me
problem.
your wand, Dumbledore.
Here's why I have a problem with it. Because
Ebony Wood.
because
Dragon heartstring.
the Harry Potter series came out.
Hell of the
Like,
Phoenix.
the book series came out. Right?
Yeah. Do that, yeah.
And then J.K. Rowling came out and said after the book series came out that Dumbledore was gay.
Yeah.
And then they wrote it into the movies of the Fantastic
Dude,
Beasts.
it's just the whole
They had to.
forcing
So
it.
it's
I
like-
don't care.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't
Of course.
care. I don't care if someone's gay. Make it add to the story, make it matter, or do it in passing. I just can't stand it when it's like the gay, and the gays with the gay, and you're just like, dude,
Well, they didn't.
no one.
I get that, and I think they didn't force it. I think it was just like, oh yeah, by the way, I have a boyfriend.
By the way, but dude, this is the other thing too.
Still
You
got
don't
wands
think
with
about,
their
and that
ass.
they like, what is it? So what isn't this like the 1600s or something crazy?
No, it's like
early 1900s.
Yeah, it's early 1900s, like pre World War One. I want to say.
Oh, it's
or
not-
maybe
I-
World
why
War
would-
Two.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the video game. That's
Dumbledore's
why
not that
I'm-
old.
Yeah.
Dumbledore's only like
He's fucking
200, 300 years old.
he's a
He's
hundred.
not that old. He's like 2,000-3,000.
Yeah,
I
but
think
you're,
he's
you're saying he's like 600 or something.
He technically like 150, I think.
Yeah.
Is what he was, and that was
Sounds
in
right.
the 90s, which
Right.
is or no, the late 80s.
Late 90s.
Late 80s is when Harry Potter was
Yes.
at school, technically.
Right.
Nerd alert.
Right there with you.
Well, yeah, Dumbledore's old. It's gay. I don't mind.
Dude, it's not that you can't. It's the
Yeah,
fact that
you-
Disney and all this stuff, and oh wait, that's Universal. It's just like it's just the forcing of it, and the fact that we talked about it on the last podcast. Did you watch Stranger Things?
Oh yeah.
Stranger Things
Oh
yet?
yeah.
Yeah, Stranger Things. Like it's just
That's
like
not-
one of those
that's
things
not
where it's like
forced, though. It's just
it's
there.
forced.
No, dude, because there were people in the 80s who were gay.
No,
and
but
didn't
it's
know what to do.
it's
So like,
forced.
they have to address that part of it.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
No, but it's the fact
Culturally.
there's two. What's it called? They already did the gay character with what's her name, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, and Will's gay, and
Right, but that's like,
Here's
and number one's gay,
Here's the
and
thing.
then it's just like one of
Here's-
those things. It's
but
overrepresentation.
then you're saying they can't, like with that logic. Then you're saying
No,
that-
it's not logic. It's the fact that it's woke bullshit. I don't
Okay.
care.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't add to the story.
Yeah, I
like,
see what you're saying.
you know what I mean? It's one of those
But-
things where
but
it's just
again-
like, who can like these people? Like this isn't like
it does something.
what rights
It adds
do
to the
gay
story.
people not have that we have to keep shoving everything into like the gay
So-
community and corner? I feel like it's. If I was gay,
But they're
I
not-
would be
but they're-
upset about how it like.
But
It's
they're
like,
not
dude,
addressing the gay rights in that. They're just saying that they're gay and they're trying to figure out if they like that.
but it
person
doesn't
or not or
add to
whatever.
the story.
Sure, it does.
Oh, so this is kind of always
It's the reason why Robin and Steve are still like are a really good duo together because it's a platonic.
No,
thing
Robin and
at that
Steve.
point.
She could just not like Steve because he's an arrogant douchebag.
But he's not. He gets better.
well,
Yeah, but he's not. She's not. They're not right for each other.
She-
She's right for what's her face.
I think he was their friends, and she liked him because he was an arrogant douchebag, but as a friend.
Yeah, exactly.
what
she
I
liked
mean?
him as a.
Because-
I would rather have like you don't.
Right,
I,
but
to
he's
me, I
also-
just
he's
feel
also
like
a guy,
I
so
feel
he's
like
naturally
the
gonna try
new
to make
thing
new
is to
owners
just
of
be
the game.
like everyone's gay. Let's talk, and it's like,
Sure.
dude, we don't need.
That's always
It's just
But
the way
that's how,
Hollywood.
that's
and
how
everything's
that's how
going.
things have always
Again,
been.
with that logic, then you're saying
know.
that like normal relationships should only be boiled on. They should only show it like once in a show. Like
Dude, normal relationships. It's because it's normal and it's heterosexual. Gay is 1 out of 10, but now it's like. It's like 4 out of. It's like
I agree. It shouldn't be in every little.
Yeah,
thing.
it's every.
But
It's
I think
the
they
thing.
did tastefully in Stranger Things. I don't think it was.
So
we'll see
I
what they
feel
do.
like it's-
I think I get what you're saying, and that's that it's overrepresented.
And that's the thing where it's like,
Right.
yeah,
Like,
But
it's
but
frustrating.
Part of that is it's popular, and then it's not just popular; it's also that's
It's-
what they're catering to right now.
It's
Yeah.
trendy.
It's trendy, and you got to think like 25 years ago, in the 90s, it was the sensitive boyfriend, right? The sensitive 90s guy, right? Paul Rudd in Clueless. You know, like you had all these characters. It was the sensitive '90s guy, and like long gone was Clint Eastwood. You know, and then now you have this, and there was that big representation, and then also in the '90s there was the big influx of black culture, and then it was like, oh, you have the token black friend, you know, and then it was like, oh, we got to put that in everything. We got to put that in Warriors of Virtue, and oh shit, and have like the token black kid's best friend. You know what I mean? And then if that evolved, and then like now there's just okay, it's just a black character.
Right.
To me, it's just write a good story. Stop trying to add
Here's
everything.
the question for you, Vinny:
What?
Was Stranger Things a good story?
I think Stranger Things was great, and then all of a sudden, it like you had the thing with her and Steve, and I feel like that, like to me, it's like I guess the way that I think about it, like you look at the friend group, it's like, in my humble opinion, if you're writing it, like what was the thing I was saying before? I'm afraid of the Will. I forget what I was talking about. I forget. It's been a while. When I watched it, I'm sitting there. I'm like, because you could see the Will, like, obviously likes Mike, whole thing, and all that stuff.
Sure, yeah.
And that actually has some roots because in the beginning of it,
yeah,
they called him. Remember, there were a couple points where they were calling Will gay and like they tease him a little bit and stuff like that.
He says you don't even like girls.
Yeah,
But like, and then you think like, oh, well, that's what boys would say to each other because like,
Yeah,
maybe
exactly.
one boy's more developed than the other, and like he's like hasn't really hit him,
Still in like booty phase.
so you don't know.
Oh, that's what I'm afraid. I'm afraid of that if Eleven dies in the series. What's up?
Oh,
Everything.
Yeah. You're good. You're good.
No, I'm afraid if 11 dies in the series
Yeah.
and they decide to be like, now Mike and Will are together.
Okay.
I'm gonna be like, at no point was Mike gay.
They're not going to because they have one more season, and the focus is the big final fucking battle.
Dude, but the thing that's the reason I don't like it. Also, Will has been whittled down from being the main, in my humble opinion,
Sure.
the
Yeah,
main kid
but the thing
to silent gay kid who doesn't add anything to the script besides looking at Mike and being like,
Well, their pattern in the
As a-
show
as
you
a
know what I mean?
teenager.
Their pattern
That's the reason it detracted from his character because they were like, well, we got to prove he's gay. It's like,
Do you think it was also just story filler?
I just don't. You know what? I would have been okay with Will's role if during remember Mike's part where he's the one who figures out the pen. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Where he figures out the
You haven't
message.
seen season 4.
Yeah, where the message is in the pen.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a Will thing.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a Will thing, not a Mike thing.
okay. That's fair.
And that pissed me off because I'm sitting there. I'm like, that's not his character. Mike is the
Yeah.
heart. Will is the
Mike-
brains, dude. Will is the one who figured out how to communicate from the the other side and all that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
Mike is the heart. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Mike is definitely the heart, and also, so here's where like it doesn't.
We're dorking out hardcore.
It's okay. It doesn't affect me that much because I think like, well, they're teenagers, and like, the one kid in the group, he's gay, so like, it is a big deal for those kids because they have to.
Will's makes more sense to me right now. I just
normal, you know.
I just feel like, I guess, as being someone who like that stuff was in that realm, writing and stuff.
Sure.
It just sometimes stuff feels so forced, and I'm like, you don't have to pander to everyone. You don't
Sure.
have to. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to.
Yeah, but again, in the '80s, there was a big gay movement happening, like the whole Stonewall.
But it's
riot
not. It's the
happened,
fact that it's the
late 80s.
over.
there was AIDS.
So, like it's
There
it's
was.
part of, and there was AIDS.
Big gay movement.
There's
AIDS.
a little thing called AIDS.
wasn't
You have two.
popular.
This is the thing. You have two gay storylines when
Uh-huh.
there's no reason to have what's her name. I think what's her name just not liking Steve because she doesn't like Steve would have been better with Will. Or you develop her. Developing two, you're just, to me, it's pandering.
I think you're focusing too much on the counting of it. Like it's
No, it's not the counting. It's the fact that it takes away from the story. Will sucks now because of it.
I understand what you're saying, but I also think it's necessary to have a gay woman main character as well. I think it is because it
Disney exec Chris.
I'm serious, dude. I think it is, and I think that's where she came in.
She's a great character, like,
and like
from that beginning.
because then it also like you watch all these movies and these stories, and you're like, oh, this fucking love story is so fucking like
cheesy.
well, it's just recycled.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh well, now we have this young girl in a small town in fucking Indiana who's gay. Like that's a new story. You know what I mean? Like that's got to be hard for her, right? You know, that's got to be weird. So that is something for current audiences to kind of, you say pandering, but I say also like it's a new story. You know what I mean?
I just think we're getting too. It's pandering to
I see
woke
both of
people
it.
to be like, are we okay? Do we have enough gay characters? Do we have enough?
No doubt.
I think it's all about the execution, though. Like I don't think
Yes.
I don't think they shoehorned it into the story.
I'm just saying, Will, because he's gay, is a lesser character now, and that sucks.
Here's what I'm thinking too. Here's my theory. I think that actor, the kid who plays Will, I think he's gay in real life.
Probably.
So I'm
That haircut's pretty gay.
I really hope they help him out next
No,
season.
dude,
Oh,
I think
man.
Will better become better. Will better do the fact that
Get
they
some power or something.
Dude, I used to Will.
I'm gay man.
Yeah, dude, Will used to be so awesome, and then in the
Lightning
next
homo.
thing, he just sits there and
Have
just
the power
stares.
of AIDS.
All he does.
he's sad. He went from being like the center to being this like just side character.
Yeah, it's weird. I
Yeah.
don't like the fact that he's written out of it like in a lot of ways. It mainly comes from me liking Will and then being like, all right, we have a gay character. Why are we ruining Will by trying to
Well, the pattern.
this in
They
there.
make him kind of weak, is what you're saying.
exactly?
And I get that because like it's like Will's not weak. He fucking spent how long
In the upside down,
by
exactly.
himself as a child.
Like dorkiness isn't supposed to be taken as hate for gay
I didn't
people.
think so.
It's just
I
my
didn't-
dorkiness.
you're well, and like maybe who knows? Maybe they did like a poll and like had
Of course,
people
yeah, of
like be
course.
like, "Who's your character?" And then like after season 2, they were like, "Oh, Will sucks." and then in the writers' room, they were like, "We got to make Will more interesting.
Right,
He's
right.
fucking gay, right? Like, can we do that? Like,
Let's
he's
give him
gotta
a-
be-
let's give him a haircut.
Huh?
a
that
gay
haircut, they called him gay in the beginning. Like, just go with it.
Mike said that one thing about girls. Like, let's just roll with it. We're losing interest in Will." And then
Yeah.
Vinny's at home like, "I
Guys,
love
June's
Will."
right around the corner.
Yeah.
June is right around the corner. We're opening. I fucking dude. Stranger Things. I'll say this. So when it came out in 2016, 17,
You like it?
Something like
No.
that. Yeah.
I watched like 2 episodes and I was like, this is. You know what I thought? I thought, oh, this is pandering to like nostalgia porn.
Right.
Oh, totally.
Totally.
I
and
knew it was that.
and I didn't buy it then. And I was like, I'm not.
And it is, and it's okay.
And I was like, yeah, that's fine, but like not for me. And then like I got sick like a year ago. I think I had COVID. I don't know. I didn't get tested. And I don't know what I
How
had.
dare you? What
I
are you
know,
doing? You're making everyone unsafe.
Oh my God! Where's
You
my
had
mask?
COVID 4 years ago. Where's your mask?
Dude, I didn't know. Dude, so I was fucking.
Dude, you should put a mask on right now.
I know. So I was dying. So,
Perfect.
so I was fucking dying at my
Welcome
house.
to COVID
About as
mask.
effective.
Not as effective.
Probably more effective.
So I was fucking dying at my house, right?
Don't get me that
And
misinformation.
dude, I watched the first 3 seasons in like 4 days, and I was like, oh, I get it now.
yeah, dude.
Like
it's great.
it was because like you know what it did? It filled me with that childlike wonder.
Yep.
That is like what we search for in those coming of age stories.
oh, dude.
It's so inspiring.
Watching that show, all I do is go like, we should just throw away all technology.
Throw it
and
all
just be
away.
Like back to the 80s.
Yeah, let's fucking get on our bikes,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
fucking show up at someone's house,
Yeah, dude. Ride your bike to your house, play board games.
play board games.
Yeah,
play
and then in
Nintendo.
reality, what'll happen is you'll get on your bike and take 2 pedals and fall over because all your muscles don't work because we're all old.
We're all old. You're like, oh, my sciatica.
No, it makes you miss that for kids because now it's like, what was your childhood? Looking at this phone.
right. Or, well, that's interesting. I don't know. We don't know, right? Like,
No, dude, we know. Dude, the neighborhood. When I grew up here, this neighborhood was like
Packed.
thriving with children.
okay,
And now it's like you might see a couple kids out front, like
Yeah.
in their little dome,
in the dome.
like playing
The
with
cake
their,
dome.
with their parents, just like eagle eye
Bio
watching
dome.
them, making sure. Versus like when I was younger, my dad was like, "Get out of the house,
Get the fuck out of here,
Get out
dude.
of the house."
Dude.
And then I would get out, he would lock the door behind me.
Oh my God,
And I'd
dude.
be like, "I guess I'm on an adventure."
Dude,
Like,
at like 8 a.m. in the morning, my parents were like, you got fucking chores to do, bro. Like Saturday. And then by like 12, they were like, bye.
yep, exactly.
And then like I showed up at some point.
Yeah.
And like I
Yeah.
don't, but here's the
When the
thing,
lights
like,
come on.
so we were kids, right? We don't know the supervision of our parents actually from our blindsided kidness. For all we know, our parents were watching us the whole
When
time.
I was younger, the whole neighborhood watched you.
You're right.
That's how it was. Like it didn't matter that it was your parents. I got
Now the
yelled
whole
at by-
neighborhood watches
I used to get
your kids for a different reason.
Yeah, now they watch Vinny for a different reason. They're like, there's that fucking house where Vinny lives.
Now they watch
Yeah.
us because we're
No, now they watch
5
this house because
adults
they've been
in the
like,
house.
how long are 12 people gonna live at that house?
They're
Our
play- they're
property
placing-
value has gone
They-
down.
they definitely have bets on
Yeah,
us.
we're the house on the block. Like we've always been.
Oh,
There's
Oh,
a
man.
well.
there's a fantasy like football game about us.
dude, you remember we held like a baseball
Oh, my 25th and a half birthday party.
Oh, dude.
That alone is
well,
crazy.
because by 25 I had told everyone I was like, February is the worst month
Yeah.
to have a birthday.
Right.
Yeah.
And I want to have a summer birthday.
That's
so
fair.
on my birthday, literally, I was taking improv at the time. People
Yeah.
came. I was like, "Shut up!" I was like, "We are waiting." I
We're
was like,
partying.
"August 25th, we're waiting." Which, by the way, isn't even half. It's a half in a month.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, August 25th, we're doing it. I
Yeah.
was like, and everyone, and so I had it, and we played slosh ball out front.
Dude, that was so
Nice.
fun.
Yeah.
I got sloshed.
What's slosh?
Slosh ball is where so you have to be drinking a beer when you're up to bat.
Yeah.
I'm in.
And so
We had like a wiffle ball bat.
yeah,
by
and
the
it's
way.
a wiffle ball bat.
Yeah.
And you have to and then when you get to first, you get to first, and to go to second, you have to finish your beer
Okay.
to be able to get to
It was
So
Is
we-
it a beer per base?
Yeah, so when you're up,
Yeah.
so the
Oh,
keg is second.
Yeah.
So at
How much do you
second,
have to drink from the keg?
at second you fill your beer
Oh
back
my
up.
God.
And then you can go to third, but you have to finish your beer before you can go home.
Oh, dude, it was.
So you drink it
bad.
twice. You drink it.
Yeah.
Twice
So when
in
you're
the-
up
in
at
the
bat, when you're up at
lunch,
bat, you're pretty much just like chugging beer and trying to hit the ball.
Oh.
So like, so you can get a double if you can.
Oh,
Can we try this after the podcast?
Oh, just nighttime slosh ball.
How many more beers
I've
you
already,
got?
I've already been to jail. There was-
Yeah, we just blatantly played it out on the front lawn.
Dude, no fucks given.
No,
Like, it's crazy. Like, now I think about shit like that, and I'm like, I got stuff to do.
No,
Like,
it doesn't even that. It's the fact that we were like, what's it called? Like I was 25, probably what? How many people here? It's not like I was IDing people, but it's
No,
yeah,
no,
exactly.
no. Well, I don't think there was really anyone underage for the record.
that we know that we definitely
we
know, but I wouldn't have been
knew.
surprised. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like I was like, no, you're not allowed over. It's just- you know what I mean?
No, it was cool though, but like cops wouldn't have done anything anyways. It's fucking Chalfont, dude. Like,
Yeah,
like,
because Vinny's dad's here too.
yeah.
Oh, dude, but we were what's it
Just
called?
like with Russ.
But dude, the thing that I remember, the funniest thing that happened when we were out front was remember Nicolardi pitching?
Oh my god.
Nicolardi's pitching, and he literally looks over his shoulder because I'm playing second, and Kate's boyfriend's at the bat, and he's like, I'm gonna bang him in the fucking face.
Yo,
And I'm like, he's right there.
dude,
Like,
yes.
he can hear you. And he's like, what? And John's like, nothing.
Dude.
And then just throws it right in his face.
Yo, when John was in gangster mode back then, he didn't give a
I gotta meet this guy. I heard
yo,
so much about him.
Nicola-
John's like he works for FedEx. Like he's got a
He's got a
son-
kid.
He's got a kid who's like 9,
he's
and he's
slowed
like
down.
he's like super dad, and he skates all the time, and he's
Mhm.
very like mission oriented. But like back when John was in gangster mode, dude, he was like
Oh, it's so funny.
he was the best, dude.
He went right at his head. He literally threw it right at his head, and Larry ducked and was like, "We're playing for real now." Like,
Yeah.
like-
Well, that was the thing back then because it was like Kate was the hottest in improv. You know what I mean?
Which
So like
kid-
we
which
all
kid is this?
we all sort of hated her boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
Just out of like just like principle. We were like, dude, fuck you, man. Like like fuck you, man. You got the hottest chick here. And
You
like
who?
I forget.
Urges.
Dude,
Oh, I know
No,
Kate.
dude,
I
but
know
it
Kate.
was back, dude. It was back in the day. Like, what is it called? That's what I was saying earlier when you were talking about Ezra. I want to say Klein, but I don't know.
Miller.
Ezra Miller.
Liz Miller.
When you're talking about like the good-looking guy, I was talking earlier about how like one of my stand-up jokes I want to put in is like when you go on Facebook and you're looking at the girl's profile that you like, and then you see your boyfriend, you click on it. Like no matter who he is,
Oh yeah, you
You're like-
want to find
you're
out.
like, oh, that guy sucks.
Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
What a
F-
noodle.
Yeah, this dude sucks. What? He plays for the NFL.
He's got a bunch of pictures of him and his like his like
Yeah.
TDI or whatever he's driving, you know, and
Yeah,
he's,
exactly.
you know, and like
Oh,
You're like, this dude's a loser. He plays professional football. He makes $3 million a year. What does he have that I don't?
What?
And
He
he's-
started a charity for kids
I
with
know.
cancer. What an
he's
idiot.
like
Yeah.
actually like a cool guy.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
but
No, dude.
Oh, what?
He's like,
Those kids are gonna
Whatever.
die anyway.
Yo, do you remember how are we gonna get superheroes who keep saving all these kids'
God
parents?
damn it, seriously.
Yo, do you remember at the same party, the one dude came, Jordan's ex-boyfriend, he's playing the guitar.
Oh, that guy was so good at guitar. I hated him.
I love it. Dude,
Dude.
you set me up so good. So do you remember, dude? So you remember we were sitting there and everything, and everyone he's playing the guitar. Every single girl's like swooning over him. And dude, he was so good that I remember Jim was like getting all jealous. Like, Jim, you can't be jealous of this dude.
Yeah,
Like,
well, you.
he's good looking, and like I was like, and he's good at the guitar. I was like, if he plays Modest Mouse, I'm gonna bang him.
Yep. See, that's the thing though. Like Vinny had you had the bigger picture when we were younger, whereas I think like everyone else, like Russ, Jim, Keith, me, Keith's brother, like Ricky, like we just didn't get it. You understood the game early.
Yeah.
And like Vinny, that's what Vinny
Vinny got 3 girlfriends.
Yo, seriously, Vinny was the
And
only.
did replicate it.
He's
3
the only
times.
reason there were ever girls around. No, we had no game.
Right.
Like Vinny was the one that like women were like so comfortable around. You know what I mean? Because you just had that.
You guys
about
seriously
you.
weren't swimming in pussy? Like, before
No,
Vinny?
dude, I fucking
What?
dude. I lost my virginity at 20, and
You fossil.
I didn't have sex for like another
Damn.
year. Damn, dude, I was not
Bring
like.
your life alert tonight?
Dude, I should have.
You could put Vinny's dad's
It's
on.
next to my art. It's next to my
It's called
arthritis
Liberty.
cream.
It's called Liberty because it's a vet's life alert.
No, but like
Damn it.
years later, like I look back on it and I'm like, oh man, Vinny fucking got it like early. And it was like, if I had half a brain then and wasn't fucking smoking weed to my gills every day, I might have learned something and I might have actually had a girlfriend.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, I always fucked that shit up.
That was the thing, dude. It was the reason was because we were all just like, oh, vagina. Like that's
Oh,
all we were.
no,
All of us
I
were
didn't-
like,
Oh.
yeah, exactly.
We
were
didn't
all,
know what to
oh,
do.
Tata.
Oh, dude, Vinny took me to this girl's house in New Jersey. There's 2 girls there.
When was that? What?
Dude, we drove to this girl's house.
I don't remember this.
Dude,
This is-
we drove to this.
Oh, here we go.
Wait, there's more. Dude, we drove.
Wait, there's more.
Oh my god, dude.
Rachel, don't listen.
Yeah, well, I don't remember this. So,
This hurts me, okay?
oh, gee.
I want you
Not the
to
commercial.
know
Yes.
this hurts. We go
I'm
there.
gonna need another beer.
Yeah. So Vinny, like, dude, this is how like
Give me one.
this is how like disconnected I was back then, right? I was like,
See, this is why I wanted Chris on. 'Cause I know he's gonna bring up a bunch of crap that I totally
Yeah.
forget.
Yes.
He was a first roommate. I charged Chris $200 to live here.
yeah, like literally. No, Vinny was the man. He was so good to me.
And half the time
he's
Chris
still
wouldn't
the
pay,
man,
and I'd be
but-
like, whatever. I don't
Dude, no, Vinny was so good to me for being such a fucking like shithead. But like one day Vinny hits me up, right? And like I say hit me up, but really he knocked on the door. And he goes,
I knocked on the door next to mine.
yeah, he goes, hey, we're going to New Jersey. And I was like, okay.
I don't remember this at all.
And so like we go to New Jersey and like I ended up like switching and I'm driving. And I'd never do that nowadays. Like it's so crazy the shit you do when you're young, you know, like just on a whim. And like we go there and he's like, all right, so like I know this girl, like she's the sister of this girl I went to high school with, and she hit me up to hang out, and I think maybe her friend's gonna be there. And I was like, oh, whatever, cool. Is there gonna be weed? And like that's all I cared about. And like we go there and like this chick, this friend of so Vinny goes there obviously for this one girl. She invited him out, and her friend had the nicest ass I have ever seen. She was so gorgeous.
Describe it.
Oh, it was big. It was wonderful. She wore leggings. She was so hot.
Lower.
Oh God, dude, and it was, dude. There were 7 assists for me to slam dunk. Like the ball was passed. And
Open lane.
open lane. And I
Your
like
defender fell down.
she had a dog. She had that pit bull, and she's like, "Oh, this is like my boyfriend's pit bull," and I'm looking after it for the week. But she was clearly trying to hook up, and like her dog loved me. And
I'm in. The dog likes me.
At one point, we're playing this drinking game, right? Like, because I'm so dumb, I don't know how to move things forward. And the girls were like, "Oh, let's just get drunk, and then we'll fuck these guys," you know. And because like, you know,
I don't remember this at all.
sorry, Rachel.
Yeah,
And,
sorry.
and
commercial.
like, so like, at some point, like, she's sitting next to me on my right, and she's like, "Okay, the next part of the game is the person on your left has to give a compliment to the person on your right." And I'm like, "Duh, what does that mean?" Like, we were playing beer pong, and she's shaking her ass in front of me. And I'm like, I'm so like trigger happy. I don't know what to do. And I end up sleeping on the couch. Vinny fucked this girl upstairs. The girl he came for. And this girl was like, in retrospect, she was mad at me. Because her weekend was set up. She was supposed to get some dick while her boyfriend was out of town. That was what her friend told her, and why her friend told you to bring a friend. And that's why you brought me. But I fucked it up because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like, we gotta smoke more weed. And I'm like, oh my God, look at her ass. Like, she is so hot. When in reality, I could have just been like, hey, how you doing? I'm Chris.
Right.
Oh, I'm Abby.
Oh yeah, no.
You know what I mean? But
Funny
like,
how simple it is.
I didn't have that like awareness, like, oh, this woman's attracted to me. I had none of that.
Oh yeah, no, dude.
Just-
We were, dude. When I met
know.
when I met Rachel, the funniest thing about it is, at the time I had like I had a couple girls interested in me. Eventually, getting to know her is when I started dating multiple girls.
Right.
But the thing that was funny is you were the one that was just like, I remember Nicolardi literally came up to me and said, "What are you gonna do, man? New girl, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
Because that was back when all of a sudden, that's when like the Joanna thing happened, and then everyone was like,
hating
"Oh,
you.
everyone was hating me," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"For what?"
Yeah, because you hooked up with a chick.
Yeah,
in
exactly. Because I hooked up with a
improv.
bunch of chicks, and it was bull crap, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah," because I'm doing the thing I'm good at,
Yeah.
and it's a forced
Dude,
like reaction.
well, the thing is, we were all fucking nerds.
yeah,
And like Vinny just like pulled the trigger when no one else did. And he had a woman who was in improv and she came on to him. And Vinny was like, "Oh, I'm not going to say no." But she was also on and off again with the main dude in improv.
Mm.
And he was the best. And she was the head girl. And she wanted to fuck Vinny. So Vinny fucked her. And then everyone hated Vinny.
Wait, this is getting really complicated. So
hold on.
happened again? I
Right.
can't-
Hold on. Can you describe her ass one more time?
Which one? No, Joanna was cute. She was a very attractive
Oh,
woman.
now we're
It-
dropping names. All right.
Shit, sorry.
No, it's all good.
You said her name earlier.
But she
I
was,
didn't say her name.
but she
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Whoops.
No, I
Wait,
didn't.
You're
you're
100%.
You're in the doghouse anyway.
Yeah, it's
You're
all good.
done.
But
Yeah.
no, like it just was what it was. But the thing is like Vinny was the only dude that was like actually being a man. You know what I mean? We were all just like dumb fucking kids. You know what I mean? Vinny was pulling the trigger, and they all hated Vinny. And then like that's right, Rachel came in, and everyone was like, "Fuck, the new girl."
She's
you know?
so stupid pretty, and
She's stupid.
and everyone's
pretty.
like, "Vinny, what are you gonna do? What are you
Yeah.
gonna do?" And I was like, look at her.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not the first dude. She's got a boyfriend.
Yeah, she has a boyfriend.
And literally, Chris literally came up to me and was just like, "Stonewaller." And I was like, I've never done that before. Like, he was like, "Just don't say anything." And I was like, you know what? If there's one girl who, look how pretty she is,
Sure.
do I even have a chance?
Yeah.
But you said that to him?
Yeah, that's what Chris
I don't
said.
remember
Where
this.
No,
where
Chris
did you
said-
get that from?
Yeah.
If
Dude,
you,
I
if you
have
didn't know what you were
no
doing.
idea,
He has
dude.
no-
No
but-
wonder. Yeah.
But for some reason, I decided, I was like, you know what?
Fucking try. You're
I was
gonna
like-
get with every girl anyway you try with, so you might as well try
Yeah.
and see.
No,
what
but the
happens.
thing that was funny is it was such a funny thing because I was like, I've never tried that. And Rachel's so pretty that she obviously had a boyfriend. So
Oh, yeah,
why even
totally.
try? Let's try the not try.
Let's try the not try.
And
it worked.
it worked. I'm
And
married to her.
You're married.
Like,
You're married,
and she was so much that's the thing. She's easily the prettiest person that's ever walked through improv, at least from my eyes.
probably.
And exactly.
Probably,
Dude, when
you know?
me and her when we finally hooked up, I was literally pretty much loosely dating 3 other girls, and I was like, "See you later," because I was like, I'm actually like,
Time clock was ticking.
yeah, well,
Kind of
what's
into this girl. Yeah, and
exactly.
you're like,
And
cut the
she was
line.
cool, and she lived down the street. I was like, what the hell? It worked out perfectly. Yeah.
You guys are both heavily into the same thing. You're both heavily into entertainment, and
And she has morals. Because remember back in the day, my whole thing with girls was, why don't you date girls? And I was like, because girls are hoes.
oh,
No, because I just didn't trust girls.
you
I got cheated on. I didn't trust. So
That's right, and that was bad. Yeah,
I was messed
I
up.
remember that you were very distrusting, and rightfully so. You had did you walk in on her?
Yeah,
that what
dude,
it
caught her
was?
red-handed.
That's right.
As the Domino's guy.
White.
And
handed.
she's banging the Pizza Hut guy. That one
Yeah.
writes itself.
Well, not only did she go against brand loyalty, but she scarred you. Yeah, so you were kind of like you know what you were in your fuckboy phase.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know, and that was attractive to all those girls at the time because they were like, oh, like all these guys, like, you know, Vinny's got the house. They like to party at his house. He's got his own thing going on. Like, yeah, I'm gonna.
I was
fuck.
rapping.
You were rapping. People are like, I'm gonna fuck
Fred
him.
Fred
Yeah.
Durst over here.
Oh, fucking Vinny also was like the first person to wear Young and Reckless shit.
Yeah.
The fucking
That's when I was wearing my bright color stage.
Oh, dude, the bright color, and that was popular.
Chris used to be like, dude, he's over there peacocking with matching the belt and the hat and the shoe.
Dude, you were. But here's the thing, like it worked.
Yeah.
And it worked for that time in that situation, you know? Because, like, dude, if you're like a kid and you're like 20 and you're trying to get laid living in the suburbs, like, it's just not going to you may have a car, you may have a job, but like it's not gonna fucking happen, you know,
Right.
unless you're fucking, you know, Tyrone TJ type.
Rico Suave.
Yeah, Rico Suave, you know.
Right.
And that wasn't us.
No,
That was not
our
us.
thing. Our thing. I think our thing literally was shock humor. Like
Shock
at
humor,
first, people
yeah.
would be like, "Oh my goodness, like, is it okay that I'm here?"
Yeah.
And then eventually, it'd be like, "No, you'll get used to how messed up we are."
Yeah. We were like shock humor, Phillies, Eagles,
Yeah.
get trashed.
Yeah.
And it was just
And weed.
rinse, recycle, repeat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's all we did. And
Right.
like obviously I was getting fucked up all the time. I was being irresponsible, lost my job, blah 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 blah.
Oh
blah.
yeah. No, dude. Chris
And
got.
I hit the fucking wall, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
wish I
that's-
had a chance to meet this Chris.
Dude.
Dude. No,
Dude,
yeah.
One
Just
time.
watch it like
Dude, so Chris got in a car accident with Jim, right?
Yeah, oh dude.
Dude, remember that?
I
That
got
was a
s-
way.
I got sued from that accident.
What happened?
Wow.
I got so Jim and I are in Newtown.
Okay.
And it was like traffic, and we're in like, you know, the lights here, and there's the turning lane to turn at that. So we're backed up on all these cars, and I'm thinking, well, I'm just gonna fucking turn into this parking lot.
Uh-huh.
And I wasn't even high. That's the sad part. And
Did you,
I
did
just-
you go over to the median?
yeah, I went over the median
Yeah.
and like
man.
just fucking
I've done it.
boom,
Yeah.
and like, dude, I like
Got
well,
T-boned?
no, like I'm turning, and then she comes this way,
Okay.
and so like we're
She
both
T-boned him.
yeah, we're both
It was-
we're
yeah.
both concussed, you know, and I'm like flipping out, you know, which in hindsight was like, oh, that's like a concussion symptom, you know, like anger,
Right.
you know, and then like the cops like they tow my car, and I was hanging out with the wrong crowd in Lancaster, anyways, and my one buddy left his spoon
Yes.
in my car,
Yep.
and I don't know if you know what they use spoons for.
But that's the thing I was
but
gonna
it's
bring up.
heroin.
Yeah, they literally Chris did never, and they were like, "What's this spoon for?" And
Yeah,
Chris
and I
was
was
just
like,
like, "Dude, it's a spoon."
It's
I don't
just-
know. Like,
Dude,
I really
it's-
like soup.
yeah.
And
Was
so,
it
like-
burned? Like, was it obviously burned? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
Right.
so like for whatever fucking reason, I got off for that. Then I got all these like driving charges, got my license revoked. Then I got sued because this is how like bad of a position I was. I don't think I had my physical license on me. That's not good.
right.
I didn't have insurance on the car.
Yeah.
And like so like you don't have
Great.
you don't
No,
have
this
insurance.
is like this. Chris was just literally his whole thing was grinding by the skin of his teeth. I
Oh,
would come home
day. Like
and the trash bag would be empty, and he would be chopping up stems
Oh, dude.
and grinding them up and smoking the stems.
I was a
Aw,
weed
buddy.
crackhead, dude. I was
Yeah.
a weed crackhead, dude. I was like
Do anything?
Well, I was like scraping bowls without people's permission. Like I and
a-
like,
like
and
a-
then
like a-
I'd apologize to Vinnie, and he'd be like, "Dude, just fucking ask. Like if you need
You're like
something,
a-
just ask for weed."
You're like a weed raccoon.
Dude, I was.
I
dude.
Oh,
used
dude, he was.
I used to
Wow.
be like that. Not as bad, but I used to be like that where like I was saving stems
Yeah.
and I would like
I used to do
grind them up and stuff
did
and
res
use
balls.
it. Yeah.
They
Res
last. They
balls.
last for like 2 days.
Dude,
You
I
had a good one.
would do all that shit, and like eventually, like my mom and my sister came, and they're like, "Get in the fucking car." Like,
Yeah,
your
dude, I had
life is
constables come to the house,
Yeah.
bust in, come downstairs, being like, "Where's Chris?" And I was just like, "He doesn't live here."
dude.
And what's it called? I have a freaking gravity bong sitting in the sink
the volcano.
downstairs.
The volcano.
No, no,
Wasn't,
Oh,
no,
no,
it wasn't the volcano.
grav
Those
bomb.
are-
no,
those
no.
are
This
real
is just
grav
the this is just the
Oh,
grav
I
bong.
remember
It
that.
was
do
just
remember the
sitting in the. It
volcano
was
one.
just sitting in the sink, and the
Yeah.
cops came down. They're like, "Where is he?" I was like, "He doesn't live here."
Yeah.
And my dad was so at the time still out of it, and he was just like, "Oh, I thought he was downstairs." I was like, "No, he hasn't been here for like a month." And I
Yeah.
was like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah, that was crazy. And they literally were like, "Okay." And they literally just had to take a look at your room. It was just like a mattress on the floor, like
Dude, I'm
Which
glad I
which
wasn't
room do you have?
I had so
your room.
My current room.
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I was a fucking mess, dude. There was one night we played beer pong and we played some sort of game, and I got so trashed. Apparently, I don't remember.
Okay, I can tell it
There
because
you go.
I was these. We played beer pong, and this is back when me and Keith were too good at beer pong, like nerdily, like when someone's too good at bowling.
The champs.
Yeah, like
The
it was
champs
it
are
was
coming
one of
in.
those
Like the
things where
weirdest thing to be really good at.
Yeah.
no, we were and back then we thought we were cool, and now I think about it, I'm like, no, it's because literally what we would do is just be like, "Hey, we're bored, let's go shoot."
That's all you did.
Yeah, so we just
Yep.
we'd sit there, and so we got we got everyone. I had a party at my house. It didn't have a great turnout. So what happened? Anytime we had a party and it was like no girls showed up, then that was when it was like, all right, we'll get stupid trash.
Beer fest.
Yeah, we would get stupid
Dude.
trash. And so we were playing, and Chris and whoever was partners with him lost like 4 or 5 games in a row. And- yeah, he was just drunk. Dude, oh, and if you got shut out, you had to do a naked lap around the house.
Which I did.
Which he did.
I remember the first lap.
Yeah,
That's it.
dude, he had, no, what's it called?
Was that cop like across the street?
No, this is
Okay,
before he
that's
moved.
moved in.
But
Okay.
Chris literally, I think out of like the 5 games, I think he had to do a naked lap twice
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And he had to literally, and so it was like one of those things. And he was so drunk, and yeah, it was pretty crazy. But then he was just like, I can't be hungover tomorrow. So then he just starts pounding water, like
Oh.
so much water. Like, and I had a Brita filter, and he's just pounding water.
I don't remember this.
Like
I
so
can
much
see-
water,
I can
dude.
see where this
He
is
was so
going.
drunk
I
at
don't
one
remember
one
this.
point. Jim is peeing in the bathroom.
Probably a good thing.
Jim's peeing in the bathroom, and Chris goes, and we're all messed up too. And he's like, "Yo, man, come check this out." I'm like, "What?" And he pushes open the door, and Jim's just pissing on the toilet, and stands up, and I have to see Jim's nuts. And Jim's like, "Close the door." And Chris is like, "Oh, that's the best." I'm like, "You should, what? You got up to show that Jim was peeing?" He's like, "He's sitting down. Dude, he's sitting down like a girl."
Jim still hates me. Oh, dude. But no, I think I pissed in the room.
Oh no. So yeah. So
Oh,
so
no.
this is my experience. I
Okay.
wake up in the morning, hungover. I get some water. The Brita filter's empty. I'm like, dude, Chris drank like 7 Brita filters of water last night, and whatever one. There's no Brita filter, so I remember being like upset. And then I look over at and Keith is sleeping on the ground. And I'm like, why is Chris? I was like, why is Keith sleeping on the ground? I look up and Chris is sleeping on the couch. I'm like, Chris, wake up. Go to your room, dude.
Yeah,
You have a
yeah.
room. Keith's sleeping on the floor because you're sleeping on the couch.
Yeah.
I was like, what a douche move.
Yeah.
And Chris is like, I can't. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't? He's like, I pissed on it. And I'm like, what do you mean you pissed on it? He's like, everything. I pissed on it all. And I'm like, what do you mean?
That coach.
What?
That coach.
No.
Okay,
This
okay.
downstairs when I had a wicker
The
couch.
old,
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh
Yeah, that's
my
a long
God.
time
That
ago.
was such a
And so
shit
I
day.
go in his room, and everything. When I tell you everything is wet. His
Oh.
bed is wet. The floor is wet. His dirty clothes are wet.
Oh.
When he said he pissed everywhere, he didn't mean like, oh, I pissed my bed everywhere. No, he pissed everywhere
Yeah.
because he had like
You painted it.
he had like
Yeah.
8 gallons of pee. I think he just woke up and was just like, here, pee. Like I think he already just kept falling asleep,
you.
peeing in places and waking
Like
up.
a Harry Potter spell just coming out of your penis.
Oh yeah, no, it was crazy.
Oh, my
And
God.
he had to do laundry for like a week.
It was bad.
We had
Dude.
to air out his room. Yeah, no, he pissed But luckily, he drank so much water, it didn't even smell like piss.
I was gonna say, man, it was probably so clear at that point. It was just
Yeah,
like
no.
straight up
Luckily, it was
water.
just like one of those things where I was like, "Oh man, I'm pretty sure we might even have gotten a new mattress." I just remember I was like, I was in there and I was like, "Wait, am I tripping?" No, everything is literally wet.
There was a lot of tripping.
Right,
back
because when
then,
you're
too.
tripping,
There was a lot of
because
tripping.
when you're
back then.
tripping, your hands are clammy and everything feels wet.
Yes,
Right.
Did you,
dude.
Did you
Or-
guys
or it
ever
also
ha-
feels like you pissed your pants.
Yep.
Yep.
Dude, I will say this, Vinny. You were so nice to me because there were multiple times that now me as an adult, I wouldn't have put up with a half fucking second of the shit I used to do.
Yeah.
Like, but Vinny was so cool. He was just like, right. And then like I think of the breaking point. You
Well,
would have eventually kicked me out, but I had already left. Is what I think. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't.
Well,
getting-
you as an adult wouldn't accept it now,
Dude,
but Vinny
I-
was also your age back then.
I know,
so
but
it's
like, I wasn't getting my shit together though. You know, dude, I was.
Me and Chris used to have like these hype sessions. We'd sit down and be like, "We're gonna do this," and Chris would be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that." And be like, "Cool, blah blah blah." I go do something, come back. Chris still be sitting like in the same spot. I'd be like, "Did you do any of the stuff we talked about?" I'd be like, "No."
I'd be smoking weed. I'd be smoking weed, listening to like Chevelle or something gay. You know, And- dude, it was a lot of good times though. Like,
Yeah.
it was like those formative years. Like, we went to the Phillies Day Parade, and that fucking shit was amazing, dude.
What, did you go to Frankfurt and Cotman the night that they won?
I did. I went to the night Frank with comedy. I think he went with Jim.
I went with Jim and Mike.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
went with
Okay. See,
Frankfurt and what are you asking?
I
what
went to
that is?
Frankfurt
Wow.
Cotman.
Frankfurt. And,
For what?
so when the Phillies won the World
Phillies,
Series,
Okay. Yeah.
Frankfurt
There's
and
like
Cotman
3
is a-
spots in the city you can go. You can either go to City Hall
Mm-hmm.
on where Broad and Market meet, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you can go to Frankfurt and
And Cotman.
And I forget the other place. you
Frankfurt
go.
and Cottman's a spot in Northeast Philly where
When they win the championships, that's when everyone goes. crazy.
everybody goes there. So I
Okay.
literally remember that night super well because we were at LaSalle and we were just
Why did they go
trashed.
there? Why did they go there? Just because?
It's just a spot in Northeast Philly that people convene. I don't
It's
know
just
why.
where they've won since
Can wreak
since
havoc
the tradition of Philadelphia winning a championship.
yeah.
Those are the
It's
places
so
where they go.
few times.
Right.
And yeah, well, since we've been alive.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But
Well,
dude,
yeah, but now that
it was like
anticipation,
we
like,
were partying at LaSalle and everyone's hammered and there's this dude from New York in like the house, like the frat house next to us.
Oh yes.
And dude, I was like, I can't drink like a lot of my friends. My friends are like super Irish and
Yeah.
like, can just
Fish.
pound beers.
Yeah, South Philly Irish, just
Oh,
like living off
oh,
it.
dude.
Yeah.
I have two friends that are brothers with their last name is Slavin.
Ugh.
Like they're real Irish, dude.
Real Irish.
And one of the dudes' first name is Seamus.
Oh Jesus.
Like, yeah,
nice.
he's super Irish. But dude, we
Might be
watched them
leprechaun.
win, and we was in like October, right? It was close to Halloween.
Yeah,
wasn't
no, it was real close. That's baseball's gotten so late that it was like, Halloween's like when they win.
Yeah.
We
that
were.
makes
It
sense.
wasn't like a
Cold.
It's
Halloween.
getting cold, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It wasn't like
Baseball.
a Halloween party, but people were like pre-Halloweening. Man, there was like girls in like really kind of slutty like outfits, but not like.
So college.
Yeah,
Yay.
it was great. But, dude, there was a fucking guy from New York that had this gigantic minivan, and I remember driving down there so hammered. Like I was the only one that wasn't like blacked out at that point, and I got behind this dude. This minivan must have had like 15 seats in it, and I was
Jesus
like
Christ.
driving like barely like
Conscious.
just sober enough to operate a car.
Toting the line.
no. Oh no.
Nothing
Yeah, it's
bad
not a good
happened.
place to-
Nothing bad happened. We got
Well, dude,
there.
back at that time, no one in Philly, you're
one
not getting
cared.
pulled for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's so weird. When Philly wins the world championship, it's like, oh yeah, laws, no.
But dude, it was this magic,
Don't kill anybody.
this, like,
Besides that, you're good.
magical moment when we were there when like I pulled Walsey. Walsey was with me, and his older brother was there, and he didn't know it. And we were all in the crowd, like dispersing, like drinking beers with people. Girls were like just getting up on like people's
And showing tits.
shoulders,
Yeah, I remember
showing their
that.
boobs and shit. And I saw my buddy Walsey like disappear into the crowd, and then like a minute later, his brother showed up. So I fucking grabbed his brother.
Yeah.
And I started dragging him, and then I went in the direction of like the other wall, like the younger dude who's my friend, and I just like threw them at each other. They just like went crazy and like clashed beers, chugged them, and like yeah, dude, it was awesome.
Dude, I just remember the thing.
love you.
The thing that I remember from Frankfurt Common is that there were so many people with bottles of champagne, and like that would create an event. And I
the
was
Grease Street.
I
lights,
remember literally being like, oh, okay, next time this happens, you have to have a bottle of champagne
Right.
because that's what makes people go crazy.
Right.
Celebrate.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nuts. But people were just like breaking these bottles. The funniest thing that I can remember from that time was literally we were there, everyone's celebrating, everyone's freaking out, having a good time, and then there's a guy who walks down the what's it called? Is walking down the road trying to get to the parade, and he has a sign that says "gays"
Yes.
instead of like "rays." It just says like because they beat the Rays, and I was like, only in Philadelphia.
Oh, dude, I
Only-
remember too. It was
only
like
Philly.
it was like beat the Rays for Steve Irwin because he just died.
Yeah.
And so they were like beat the Rays for Steve Irwin.
Dude, do you remember
Yeah.
Do you remember the parties here that we had after that, dude? We had because Obama became president. We were all
Oh, it was a
young and
big
Yes, we
deal.
can.
dude, we
Dude.
literally had Phillies. Me and Justin Derry, our
Justin Derry.
our beer pong team was
Yeah.
Phillies Obama. Because remember, I was so into Phillies and
Yeah.
and he's black, and I just put those things together.
Dude.
Yeah, we just,
His name is Justin Derry, and he's black.
Dude.
Quite a white name.
Justin,
Yeah.
is that dude on Broadway, dude? Like, he was so talented.
I think he's
man.
just a nurse or something.
Yeah, he
But I
was.
still think he does shows.
He was like doing that back then, but he was like, Justin's like 6'4",
Okay.
Big black,
big dude.
Yeah.
Like,
big, hilariously gay, awesome, black
hilariously
dude.
like awesome dude, and like
Yeah.
he was like whenever we did like productions, like he was like the star.
Yeah. Right.
It was like, oh, this guy's obviously more talented than all of us put together.
Yeah.
Kind of pouring out of him.
Yeah, and it was like he was one of those guys that were always like, yeah, he's gonna make it, you know.
Yeah, Justin was a funny dude, but we had that dude, and there were chants. There were chants in the house that were so loud that I remember standing outside like trying to flag people down,
Yeah.
and I could hear it in the street, just like
Oh,
making things rumble, and I have to come and be like, guys, everyone, relax,
relax.
like it's 10 now.
It's
If this keeps happening and no one's even like drunk, but everyone's just like, Philly's Obama.
rager.
Like people just like, yeah, oh my goodness,
Dude,
it was
fucking,
crazy.
what was that Black Eyed Peas song? Tonight's gonna be a good night. I think that played.
Let's
like,
get retarded in here.
dude. Like
I can't believe that was actually titled that and was the actual word. For
I
a while.
can, because back then it wasn't a thing.
it wasn't a deal.
No, I know, just the idea of the song itself.
Oh, dude,
It's a funny song.
just that idea alone, man. How many songs you can hear from like back then that just remind you of how like trash you used to get and like all the parties. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Dude, I remember like what really was cool to me was like Philly's Day Parade. Is like just like everyone was so friendly. Like,
Oh yeah, dude. Philadelphia
so-
goes from being such a mean place to when they win.
So friendly. Everyone's so happy and like just random people just like hugging and shit. And I was like, man, this is fucking sick. Like everyone's so and Obama, that made it even better. City of brotherly love. You know what I mean? Like it was sick. It was a good time. 2008 was sick. And then the next year we lost. And it was terrible.
and they should have won.
Dude, it was
Yeah.
it was cold. We were at Russ's house.
Brandon was being all
Brandon,
special.
you you had a vendetta against Brandon.
I had a vendetta against Brandon because I had a reason to have a Brandon.
We kind of allowed Brandon to be around,
Okay.
but we didn't really want him to be.
He had
around.
Asperger's.
Totally. In hindsight, totally. You know, but like at the time, it was really too much. And like, dude, the Phillies lost. It was a bad fucking month, dude. I think that's when I went downhill. Is when the Phillies lost to the fucking Yankees in 2009, dude. It was fucking terrible. It was so sad.
Dude, do you remember? So, do you remember the what's it called? The very first thing that happened. The very first thing that happened that was a red flag was that Russ's mom is coming down the stairs,
Oh, no.
and Brandon just starts yelling "cunt."
No,
And he just
I
keeps
don't remember that.
yelling it as
Oh,
loud
my-
as he can.
And she's like super
Yeah.
uptight, like Catholic woman, like
She's not uptight. She's just very like
old school.
yeah, like it's just funny. She's
We're
so
sorry
she's just
about
like
our
what-
Australian friend.
But yeah, he just keeps.
That was good.
He's just like the Yankees are a bunch of cunts.
Oh,
And we're
my
just sitting there. And
God.
dude, the thing that was happening is we would all sit in there, and he was so annoying, and we would all go back, smoke weed,
Yeah.
talk trash,
Yeah.
and then come
Him.
and like filter back in to make sure that he wouldn't come out.
Right,
Oh,
right.
it was, dude. It was rough, and like, and the thing is like, Brandon was kind of innocent in his annoyance, you know, like I don't hate Brandon, but like,
No, I don't. There was no
But
hate
but
for
it-
Brandon. I just didn't want him around us.
yeah, but it was so. And you know what? Maybe it was that tolerance that we shouldn't have done. You know, maybe we should have just been like, sorry, bro,
Some people need it.
you're not in. You know, and
Well,
like,
dude, the thing was, is he lied so much. Remember, he played girl talk and be like, "I wrote this." He'd be like, "No, you don't. I listened to this guy. This isn't you."
yeah. So
is
Yeah,
girl
sorry,
talk.
Asperger's are not lying is bad.
No, exactly. No, he would lie about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
so
And he was super rich. He would sit behind home
Oh,
plate.
fuck this dude.
Yeah, dude. He would sit behind home plate and stuff, and his
Oh,
parents would get him
dude.
into stuff. He was just He
Well,
was. I literally. He was the first person before any Parks and Rec or anything like that. He was the worst. That's literally what I would call him.
he was the
I
worst.
would be like, this dude's the worst. And everyone would be like, no, man, you got to be nice. And I was the first person to notice.
I
was the first
know.
person to notice that just because he had Asperger's didn't mean that he wasn't an asshole. And so
Yeah.
he tried to steal so I had a party here.
Yeah.
And he tried to steal my Phillies jersey as I was hooking up with my Jimmy Rollins World Series jersey. And as I was hooking up with the girl, and I literally called him, and Keith tracked him down.
That's right.
And so all of a sudden he gives gives the jersey back or whatever. Like at the party, he's like, I don't know what happened. I don't know how it got. He brought it down to me because I guess Keith yelled at him. He's like, I don't know how it got up there. I was like, dude, I saw you. I saw you grab the jersey. You retweet. Like I was really pissed off, and that was like one of the first things that I did that. And then that night was the night that Russ spilled a little bit of beer on himself. And then so he stood up and just dumped a beer on Russ. Like, oops. And I was like, dude, this dude sucks. I was like, this dude's not. I was like, this guy might have Asperger's, but this guy sucks.
Get out of here.
And then,
Yeah.
so then he got all drunk and he's eating my Cheerios.
Oh, no.
And he's spilling them all over the ground.
No one touches Vinnie's Cheerios.
And the
There's
next
only one rule in this house.
It's only one rule, bro.
Dude, but the next morning, I wake up and literally there's it's like Hansel and Gretel. I'm literally following this trail of Cheerios, and I take it all the way downstairs, and I look,
passed out.
and he's passed out,
Yeah.
hugging the box of Cheerios.
Dude, I do remember that.
And I remember just being like, "This kid."
Oh,
Oh, dude, he was the worst. And Russ just had like a bleeding heart for him. And me
I
and Russ at the
did.
time were like pretty much best friends.
you guys are so tight.
So I was just like, Russ, stop. I was like, I get it. You
Yeah.
feel bad, but
Yeah.
the kid sucks.
Yeah, and
It's not like he's like special and
No.
he's a little weird, so we keep him around. And his name's Chris. No, no, but like
it makes us laugh sometimes.
no, but this guy was just, it was like one of those things where it's like, no, dude, this kid's just trying to screw us, and it's just like, oh no, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, no, dude, you do understand, and you
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Russ still hung out with him, dude. He literally one time,
Yeah, Russ did a lot.
oh, dude, Russ did a lot. And then I remember when Kate learned that he sucked because he literally locked himself in her room and passed out
See, I didn't know that.
night of a party.
Oh,
And that's finally when Kate was like,
okay.
oh, Brandon does, because remember, everyone was judging me. Everyone's like, Vinny, you judge. And I was like, guys, I saw it. I saw it way before. Just
Oh,
trust me.
We were at improv one time, and like Bill was like, Bill's the head dude, and
Yep.
Bill's no bullshit, but Bill was being nice. And Bill was like, like if someone's not working with you and just things aren't going the way in a scene, and as he's talking, Vinny's in the back, he goes, Brandon. And like everyone and like everyone
Beautiful.
everyone was like, Vinny, no.
Oh, dude, that was, yeah.
Vinny, stop. That's not nice. And like even me, I was like, come on, bro, like let him be dumb. But like he's right.
Yeah.
Dude, he'd ruin,
Yeah.
dude. So he would ruin improv. So we'd have a scene and it'd be going so well. This is nerd now hardcore, but I took improv so serious back then.
Yeah.
And
We all did.
we were a tight knit group, and
Mhm.
everyone was very good. And when Brandon showed up, he literally, a scene would be going well, and you'd be like, "Oh, cool! I want to see where this goes." And then he would just tap someone out, and you're like, "Dude, what are you doing?
Wrong time.
This is not the time you tap someone out just because you want to come in and be like Happy Gilmore."
Oh,
Like that's what he would do.
oh God.
And so I would get really frustrated. Everyone's like, "It's okay." I'm like, "No, it's not okay.
Yeah.
He's ruining my art.
Yeah.
Like he's ruining everything."
It was
And
bad.
everyone was like, "No, dude, he's." And I was like, I don't care. Because he's not a good person. If this was just like, oh, the special kid's here and we're gonna have one class with him, and the reason I knew everyone agreed with me is because the one day he missed, it was like a holiday. It was like we won World War II. People were hugging. People were celebrating. Like I had never experienced that much joy because one person didn't come to a class.
Here's the thing. No one
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah.
to s-
No, I mean something.
no one wanted to say it,
Right. Of course. It's awkward.
but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
were like, oh sweet. Like,
I physically drug
No.
him out of scenes before.
yeah, it was yeah, you
That's pretty bad.
you would do some shit like, oh, death is here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like-
And he'd be like, "Oh, I'm not dead." And I'd be like, "Yes, you are," and grab his foot and like drag him into the hallway.
Brandon, you know that episode?
What are you like, Michael Scott? You?
Yo,
Dude,
it's
yeah.
got detective.
Dude, that's what I was just gonna say.
I knew it. Yeah, yeah.
That episode of Michael Scott on Improv.
Yeah,
that,
he's like-
that was Brandon every day.
Every time. Yeah.
Dude, it was
And
because of
it
the-
hurt, dude.
That's-
It hurt.
And I've done improv a
because
few
we
times,
want to
like,
be
that's
inclusive,
fucking annoying.
right?
Yeah.
We want to be inclusive, but then like it's just everyone's like,
It was because of the potential that we had. Like the thing that was the thing that still frustrates
You don't
me.
want to babysit while you're improvising. You just want to
Exactly. And the thing that frustrates me about it is, dude, the talent we had there,
sick.
especially compared to today with like SNL or anything, we
Mhm.
literally could have had our own show. If
Oh,
we
dude,
had
we were
if we
sick.
had an organizer, if we had someone who could have honed the talent, when we had like Jim, like John, me, Joanna, Kate,
Keith,
Rachel,
Kevin.
Keith, Kevin,
Yeah.
that whole group, we literally had like 20 to 25 solid comedians.
And we had like everything covered.
Yeah, Jim could do impressions.
Yeah.
I was a very good straight dude who would be
Keith
like
was the
kind of-
professional.
Yeah, yeah. We
you
had
know,
like everyone. Kevin would be characters. Like everyone had like their
Mike was
thing.
chaos.
Or archetype.
yeah.
Mike was the star. Mike
Like
was
who?
Mike
Madonna.
Cants.
Oh, Cants. Okay. yeah.
Mike was like
Mike
was like
Cants didn't last very long.
but
though.
he was like the secret weapon. Because like
Wild card.
dude, he was the wild card and like but we had a sick group and like we pushed out that older group. Do you remember that? Cuz like there was like a group that was already established and like they were cool and they had Rob and Joanna, but eventually Joanna just started kind of hanging out with us and like they were good, but we just in
Yeah, John McGarry. John McGarry was like him and Rob were like the first two people when I saw improv.
and
I was like, I'm
Andrew
joining this.
Stanton.
Oh, dude, Andrew was great.
And they were all great, but they just kind of started to filter out and then like we had this like mega group. And we
Andrew
were-
was always good and stuff like
Oh,
that.
Andrew was
But that was the thing.
so
People
good.
understood their roles. People understood what was going on. And then Brandon would come in and you just have people being like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Brandon. Like, maybe you should come in this scene with me." And you're like, "No, dude."
Well, see,
So, anyways, that has a lot to do with what's it called? What was the topic?
Childhood.
Anyhow, the point is like I know this person. I'm not gonna name him. But they like run an improv in Lancaster, and like they're super inclusive and they're super PC, and like it's totally different now.
Yeah.
Like improv itself is totally different. It's not what it used to be.
So
you
John
know?
Stewart awarded a Nazi.
Oh,
That's
dude,
what, that's what we were trying to say.
He's probably they probably hate him right now, even though he was just naive, you know. Like
No, but dude, that's what I mean. Like comedy is weirdly like it's injured. It's not dead. Like, do you know what Kill Tony is?
yeah, I love Kill Tony.
Okay, so Kill Tony's one of the very few places where
He's coming
but,
in
like,
a couple months.
We were just watching that.
Where's he
before.
coming?
Not Kill Tony's show, but like he's coming.
Tony
like, in a
Hitchcock's
month-
coming to Helium.
in like a month.
October.
Really?
Yeah, but you,
October.
dude, isn't Tony Hitchcock? That's like my like that's where
Oh.
I felt like
Just
when I watched Kill
brutal.
Tony, I'm like, oh, that was
it.
us.
That was us. Just brutal.
Just brutal. Like
And
we didn't care. We'd say
No.
whatever.
Oh God.
You remember how we torture Juan by being like, all right, sorry, that was the last one. I'm sorry, Juan.
Dude,
All
Juan,
right, wait, one more.
Oh. and like it did hurt him.
Oh, dude, he would get so mad. He would try to act like he wouldn't get mad, and I'm like, Juan, just let it go. It's okay.
It was just one more time.
Sometimes you win Juan, sometimes you lose Juan. And he would just be like, oh, dude, and I'd be like, dude, your name's Juan.
I guess it takes one to know.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, we did them all, and like poor Juan, he like almost left because of that.
Yeah, dude. There, like, you know how there's
Yeah.
like a dead horse. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't even the dead horse was beaten. It was just
It was
had been-
buried. You dug it back up.
We
and
were
you
just
kept beating
beating
it.
dirt
Yeah.
where the horse was.
I look back on that and I was like, wow, I like really wasn't stepping up there for him. Like we could have ended that way earlier.
dude, because the very first
Turned out
side
alright.
group that started was like me, Jim, Juan, and Ricky.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the first thing, and I was like, Chris, you want to be part of this? And you're like, I'm gonna go. Like you go do something. I'd be like, oh, I guess
smoke
Chris is
weed.
gonna be here.
Dude, I was
But,
like, I was like, sort of. I didn't know what was going on, dude. I was so fucking.
Chris was
scared.
the thing was he was scattered. That's the
I
best
was
way to
super
put it.
scattered.
Chris
Yeah, I
was
was
just-
super scattered.
Chris was just like, yeah, I'm thinking about women and video game. And
Parkour.
Yeah.
And then like, and dude, you know what it was? It was Jim, because like Jim didn't like me at first.
Really?
Really?
Or I thought he didn't, but I was friends with Mike, and then I saw Jim perform, and I was like, fuck, this guy's good.
Dude, Jim was like one of the funniest people I
I
ever
was
met.
like, damn, he's so good. Physicality, like he had it all.
Do you watch Man See You Woman?
No.
Do you know what it is?
You would love it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
You know who Jay Baruchel is, though, right?
Yes, I
Yes.
love Jay Baruchel.
So Jay Baruchel, dude, watching him in anything, I'm like, that's who Jim was.
That's who Jim was.
Jim
yeah.
could do anything that he did.
Jim was so good, and like Mike was like, you should meet Jim, and I was like, okay. And then like I met Jim at like the fucking canteen in Bucks County Community College, and Jim was so like reserved and like, who the fuck is this, you know? And then like we started hanging out, and I was like, oh man, we have so much in common. And then Jim and I became like best friends. You know what I mean? And but like then I started like really getting into it, and I was like, oh, I should go to improv every week.
Mm.
And then
Remember we got drunk?
oh,
I like how you said that.
me-
I like how you said that, and you
No,
knew exactly what
I
situation you was talking
remember
about.
this. So this is what happened. This is what happened, and I blame Vinny. So Vinny fucking we're going to improv one day, and Vinny stops at the liquor store, and he just grabs a handle of vodka, and I was like, okay, and he goes, we're gonna drink this before we go in,
Oh no!
Because
and
we had
I can't imagine Vinny saying something.
No,
like
because
this
I had
like
never done. So it came down to I was just bored, and I was
Yeah.
just like, you know what? I've never done improv in any shape, form. I've never been drunk, never been high. Always respected the craft, and I was like, this one time.
dude, we drank like 3/4 of that,
Oh,
walked into improv,
straight. Like,
killed it.
oh man.
We fucking straight, dude, no chaser, just fucking not even
sat in my car, just being like,
not even Stoli. It was like some off-brand.
That's how you guys get your beer.
I felt like it was Jack, but I don't remember. I just remember it was liquor.
Dude,
and
we
yeah.
got, and it's like the sun is out. Like nothing makes sense.
people are looking at you in the
Yeah,
car.
dude.
It's 2 in the afternoon.
It's 2 in the afternoon, and
Hey,
we,
5 o'clock somewhere.
dude, we fucking killed it. That's when I was like, oh fuck, this is like,
The set and the bottle.
yeah, dude. We had a lot of fun, and like, I don't think I ever went to improv high, but it was
Yeah, I never went to improv.
I think I'd rather do
No.
it drunk.
Well, it turns out.
I felt disconnected. I remember just
Yeah.
I felt like I couldn't connect with people. I felt like it was just like the me show. I was like, all right, you shut up. Boobies.
Isn't
that what it always is when you're drunk?
It was a good time though, man. We fucking killed it. It's funny looking back because it was like, man, that was such a golden time that we were so unaware of.
Yep,
You know,
exactly.
we were so unaware of like the melting pot of talent and opportunity, and we
If that group was in New York, that'd be people being like, "Oh, I remember when Chris Farley and blah
Yeah.
blah blah." Like that's what it was. Because like, dude, so many good, funny people came through,
so
and then
many good
instead of
moments.
going and pursuing it because we're raised in the white suburbs, everyone's
Yeah.
like, "I'm gonna be a dermatologist."
Dude, we're in suburban wasteland.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's like we just lost the plot, you know. But like it was still something I look back on, and it's like I can call Vinnie, I can call John, I can call Keith, I can call Jim, I can call them any point in time of the day, and it's like we're right back there.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just like it was such a
We had a tight group. It was
had a tight
literally,
group.
yeah, it was like a group of misfits. The thing was, is we knew we were dorks, but we knew we were funny.
oh yeah.
We knew that we could make people laugh. Like, what was the one joke we used to say all the time? It's something. I remember literally being at Mike's house and having people gasp and be like, "These dudes are raunchy." I forget what it was. It was something like, it's like, "Oh man, I got accused of rape," and it'd be like. And it'd be like, "Oh man, did you get off?" It'd be like, "How do you think they know? I got accused of
what?
Dude,
Like,
Yeah, it's true.
And
Cause
we'd
like,
have people be like, "Whoa!"
yeah, because we were so like
It's not like we were like, "Hi, I'm Vinny. Nice to meet you." It would just be like, this is what we'd say as
Yeah.
like passing by, and they'd
Right,
be like,
like
No,
a tidal wave just hitting you in the face.
you hit the right chord when you said shock humor, because that's what it was. It was like, oh, we're gonna make you uncomfortable.
yeah, it's gonna make you uncomfortable to the point where we can't be serious. People this horrible don't exist. That's why when Always Sunny came out,
Yeah,
I was like,
perfect.
this
And for
is
Philly. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Well, that was the thing is I was like, oh my goodness, this is about like who we like pretend to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Because like the thing was, is like, yeah, our humor is really raunchy, but no one could tell me that I didn't love my friends. No one couldn't tell that
Yeah.
like I didn't care about people. Like no one couldn't tell me that Russ didn't have a heart of gold. Like
Oh,
we were
God.
we were very kind, but like our humor was just super dark.
It was
because-
terrible.
Yeah, my dad being a Vietnam vet and
Yeah.
all the things that went on with him, like I was just trying to find the light in the darkness, however it was. And
Oh, totally. Yeah, and like, yeah, you're fucking up.
You were using comedy for its
Very dark.
purpose.
yeah,
you
dude,
know.
you got to experience part of it. Remember the thing about my dad when you were telling me you were like, my dad, the one time you were like playing with the door, my dad came up, he's like, it's only got so many times.
Oh yeah. Your dad like really. What did he instill in me? And it's funny now that like I work at like this super busy bar and this really well-to-do restaurant, and like I make good money, but like your dad instilled in me good work ethic in like one sentence. It was crazy because I was like,
What'd he
I was opening the door to the fridge and I was like looking at something, and then I'd close it, and then I'd like go and try to get something to eat or whatever, and then I'd go back to the fridge, and he was like, listen, that door only gets opened so many times before it breaks down. He's like, if you know what you want, open the door. Otherwise, leave it closed. And that's all he said, and he walked away. And I don't know why, but in my fucking high brain.
Yeah, Chris came up to me and was like, whoa. And I was like, dude, I got that when I was like 10.
Right.
I was like, I got that
But-
speech when I was 10.
but, like,
doing the
not-
window.
Not a
That's
bad
how I was-
analogy.
When I was little,
Not
dude,
bad.
when I was little, I was doing the window on the car. Like
Yeah.
up, down, up, down, up, down. And my dad gave me
Listen.
that speech.
That window only has so many
Yeah, exactly. Before it breaks.
rotations.
And I remember Chris, the first time Chris told me that happened, we were tripping balls.
Yeah.
I was tripping balls downstairs. He's like, dude, your
Like
dad
Russ.
just blew my mind. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And he was just like, I was like, oh, no, I know that teaching.
Dude, fucking so many fucking dude.
Just entertained.
Dude, we went to Bucks County. Like, we all went to Bucks, obviously,
Oh, dude, the first time we ever tripped
at Bucks.
at
Dude,
Bucks.
And I was the sober one. Okay, this fucking shithead right here was.
Do you remember us all holding hands, crying, listening to that song, whatever song that was?
I was the one responsible.
Chris is driving my car.
Listen, what we listened to Aesop Rocky.
We listened.
Oh,
we
I saw
listened
him.
to
Ooh,
Hurricane. That
great.
what's it called? That one song. The
Bob Dylan. No,
oh, dude, it was that one band. It was very.
How did it go?
like Arcade.
I don't
Fire or
know.
something
No,
like
it wasn't
that.
arcade. It's Silver Sun Pickups.
Oh,
They're a good band.
Yeah,
dude,
no.
we listened to a lot of them back in the day.
We were listening to Silver Sun Pickups, and we were listening to like whatever their main song was, and it was literally. It was like Captain. It was like Captain Planet, but of just like emotion. Just instead of everyone putting their ring in and like
Is it the one that goes din 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 din?
Probably.
Yeah,
But,
it's
like, so what happened is I'm up front because it's my car.
plays yeah.
Chris is driving it, and everyone else is in the back seat. And all of a sudden, that song comes on, and for whatever reason, I put my hand out, and everyone just put their hand on my hand.
Remember that?
And all of a sudden, we're all listening to it, and instead of Captain Planet coming, we all just started bursting with like appreciation and love for each other, and being like, "Dude, I love you because
Crying.
like you're like such a good dude, and you have such a good heart." And like,
That's the beauty of like.
That reminds me of your story of your Molly story.
oh, dude, it's one of
Were
those
you
things
around
when
for
we would trip.
Oh, I wasn't around for that.
Apparently they
No.
did Molly in like the basement, like just listen to Kesha the entire time.
Oh yeah, no, that was like me, Rush, Jim, and me, Russ, and
Rachel was
Jim.
there, right?
I don't think Rachel was there, but that was we did Molly, and then Kesha, We Are Who We Are came on, and Mike started doing his like Michael Jackson dancing, and I was like, we are who
We are.
You're right, Keisha.
Dude, it's
I-
like you
yeah.
do psychedelics, and you're like, oh yeah, we're all just one.
We're all
Yeah, dude, we had
We're all one.
we had so much fun. But do you remember? Then we came back here,
Mhm.
and then there were other times we tripped. Do you remember the time we tripped and we were ready to go run out into the mud?
No.
Oh, dude, we were about to. It was pouring rain.
Oh,
and we were
God.
about to, and I was like, "Oh, everything's wet. What's going on?" Because I was tripping and
Yeah.
didn't know.
Yeah,
And
you're
then we-
real curious. That's what you were. You were like, "Ooh, guys, let's do this," and everyone else is like, "I'm talking to a vacuum."
Oh yeah, no, dude, I love that you brought that up, dude. That is a known thing. My favorite thing is, dude, it's not just you. It's what's it called. You know that. Keith knows that. Jim knows that.
What
That
was it?
vacuum was a dick.
Oh yeah, I heard
The
about that.
dick vacuum.
everyone
There's a
was talking
vacuum
to
that
it.
was in the background that if you were tripping,
You were talking
every
to it.
single person that talked to it, that vacuum, as dumb as this sounds, sucked. Like it was dude. but
Mike
it
talked
did.
to it for like an hour.
Mike talked to it for an hour. Dude, one time Mike literally talked about how the vacuum was like, dude, everyone just thinks you're Brandon. And they won't tell you. They just
Oh.
won't tell you
Oh,
that you're
man.
Brandon. And Keith literally said the same thing where that vacuum would be like, dude, no one over there likes you.
Dude,
And I was like, I threw that vacuum one time when I was tripping. I finally threw that vacuum. I was like, you dick vacuum.
Dude,
you
Jim-
don't belong in this house.
Jim was sitting there, and Jim looked at me, and he's like, "What if up is down?"
Oh, dude, that was the time I told him to. Do you remember I was yelling? I was like, stop.
Yeah, because he was spiraling.
He was spiraling. He was like, what if up is down and down is up and left is right and right is. And I was like, no.
No,
I was like, we're not going down that
No.
street.
That's because Jim did like a heroic dose.
He did well for him
He-
when he was 120 pounds.
He did like
He did an
over
eighth by himself.
by himself.
And this was cured. This was like when we were like, we
Oh.
left these mushrooms in a
Stinky,
drawer
stinky.
for like a year.
Yeah.
And it came down to when you would have like 2 caps, you would trip balls.
Like the stankiest
And he
of
was just like,
stankiest.
oh, I'm going to do an eight. And he literally said he died,
Mhm.
turned into flowers, and rose to the top of the ocean. Like that was
ego
his
death.
trip.
Dude, he was sitting. Do you remember when you had the computer table? across
Yeah,
from
no,
you?
I know exactly what you're talking.
Dude,
When he
and-
was like sitting all weird
Dude,
and
he was
contorted.
he was sitting there, and like I think he did it before anyone else did it that night. So he started tripping first, and he goes, and I was like, oh fuck, this is the situation now.
Yep,
Like
bad trip mode on.
Jim is like feeling it, and like most of the night was like, okay, dude, like you're good,
Easy, right?
you're good, and like, but like it was like,
Was he the only one tripping?
no,
no, we were all tripping.
But like-
he
but like-
took a lot.
Jim went first, and he went hard.
Right.
Jim was
How much
always
did you
first. The
guys
very
take?
first time we did it at Bucks,
Sure.
remember?
Yeah.
We were like, literally, we ate mushrooms, and then Russ is like, oh, it takes like about an hour. But Jim's metabolism is so high.
Well, he was so into like working out. He
Well,
was
Jim's
so-
metabolism was so high
so fit.
that it was one of those things where he was just like, we were like, all right, we'll go to the bathroom and then we'll
Yeah.
hang out. And in the bathroom, Jim's like, dude, I'm like, what's up? And he's like, do you see the what are the I want to say F-14, but it's the silent bombers. Do you remember the whatever they're called, the black ones that are like
Plane?
completely silent?
Stealth bomb.
Oh, stealth
Yeah,
bomber.
stealth.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
like, dude, look at the ground, the stealth bombers. And I looked down. I'm like, oh, dude, it does look like stealth bombers. He's like, they're all around me.
Oh.
And I was like, oh no.
Oh,
And I was
no,
like,
yeah.
Jim's already tripping.
Oh,
And he was
man.
just like, yeah, man. And he's in the bathroom. And then I'm pooping. Like that's what's funny is I'm
which
pooping.
Is strange
which
on
is-
psychedelics.
Yeah,
by the
it's
way.
awesome. Yeah, no.
that doesn't happen.
No, but well, I
Have you
think
done
it
it in a porta potty while tripping?
Yeah.
Have you?
So
Yes,
Oh
many
no!
times. at festivals where like there's so much loud noise like reverberating on the walls.
Oh my God,
No,
no.
but
man.
the thing is so
It's
funny. Jim
weird.
says that, and then because he's such a goofball and we're all so close, as I'm pooping, he slides underneath the door. And it was like, hey, man, I'm tripping. And I'm like, yeah, you are, dude, because you're making me feel like I'm tripping because this
Yeah.
feels like Willy Wonka crap.
Yeah.
And then we went back to Russ, and then he was just like, I was like, dude, he's tripping like hard.
Yeah.
And Russ is like, there's no way. It's only been 20 minutes. I was like, dude, Jim's metabolism is so high that it makes actual
Also took
sense.
it earlier. Also took more.
Yeah, and then, so
Yeah,
then we were
yeah.
we were sitting there.
All
And
that compounded.
what's it, then all of a sudden we were just like sitting in the parking lot, and then I was sitting, and then all of a sudden the trees started waving without wind, and I was like,
Yeah,
Oh, that's
That's
the
it.
first. That's the first sign.
I'm going.
yeah, and I was like,
Uh,
oh, and then
full send.
some
Here
girl
we
walked by us
go.
some girl walked by us for the car who was pretty, and I was like, hey, what's up? And she was like, hi, whatever. And then Russ, I remember, looked over at me, and was like, outgoing, Vinny.
Yes, right. Because you're so vulnerably supportive when
Yeah.
you're tripping. Like, you know, you trip and you're like, oh, Goran,
Do you remember
you
how
are
my
so good at your job.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
dude, I remember seeing Keith the first time I was on Molly, and Keith came downstairs, and it was back when he had
Oh,
his
dude.
really ridiculous hair, and he was
Long
pretty,
hair.
and he was pretty fat.
Yeah.
I remember he came downstairs, and instead of having like any like, oh man, this goofy dude,
Yeah, yeah.
I remember being like, dude, I fucking love you.
I love you, bro.
I remember being like, just the first time I'd
Yeah.
ever been like, and it was so funny, just like, see, and Keith's like, are you okay? And I was like, no, dude. I was like, dude, sit down. I was like, no, dude, sit down. And then I was like, all right, because we're all trying to talk at once and share our feelings. Everyone's got to hold this cup,
Yeah.
and you're only allowed to talk when you hold the cup.
Ooh.
And like Jim was the one who came up with it, but I remember being the one like to explain it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, and Jim was like, yeah, and then we all like, what's it called? You go into the cup. Like it was like, it was crazy.
Dude,
And I was like, it's the only stuff you can only understand that if you're tripping, like
Yeah.
what that meant.
Have you ever heard the story of me and Johnny tripping in here? In this house?
Oh, dude, Johnny just out back
So,
being like,
okay,
I'm
so-
dead.
Hold on. So we both
gotta
take,
pee.
we both take acid. We have like leftover acid from a music festival,
Okay.
and we're both living here downstairs. This is like 4-ish years ago. Nah, 5 or so years ago.
Okay. Okay.
And so we're coming up on our trip. Mike and Sarah were over.
Okay.
This is still when Mike was sober and everything.
And he was
um,
with Sarah.
Yep,
yeah.
yep. And so we were hanging out before we took it. I think we took it while they were there, and then they leave. And we're starting to come up on it.
Yeah.
And we're down. Currently, we're downstairs, and I put my like Bluetooth headphones on.
Yeah.
Like I'm like driving,
Yeah.
coming up, enjoying it. And Johnny, the night before, had watched The Evil Dead.
Okay. A
Um,
little intense, probably.
Or no, I'm sorry. Excuse me, Army of Darkness.
Oh, it's kind of silly, but it's still, it's a lot.
When you're tripping,
Oh my God,
a subject like that,
Too
it's
much.
probably not the last. Yeah, it's probably the last thing you want to think about. So he yeah, so I'm coming up, and he's a very vivid. In general, he's a very vivid dreamer. He tells me about his dreams every now and then. He
Okay.
remembers a lot.
Oh, that's impressive.
So yeah, so think about what his actual memory can do.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So he starts thinking to himself. He's like, "Am I dying?"
Yep.
I'm like,
There it is.
he's like, "I feel like I'm in my casket, and my family's around me."
There it is.
I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, should I call police?
Right. You're like, this is emergency now.
Right. I'm like, I don't know if he's actually having a problem, like a medical problem,
sure.
or if he's just freaking out.
He's just freaking out.
Right. And I'm like, at the same time, I'm like trying not to lose my like come up and like trying to keep it a positive
You
thing for
got
me
you got to
mentally.
manage yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty stable when it comes to psychedelics. Like
Okay.
if you looked at me, you wouldn't be able to tell I was on it.
Okay. Like right now. No.
So he's freaking out.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, no, I should probably call like Mike and Sarah because they're sober and they were just here, so they're like only 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
So I called him.
Peaceful.
This
so,
story.
so I called them. They come back. They're just talking to him, and then eventually Rachel and Vinnie come over.
Yeah.
And they all kind of guide him outside to the backyard. It's like still sunny out. It's night. It's like I forget what time of the year it was, but it was like a beautiful day. It was
Perfect.
breezy, cool.
Get out of the
Um,
house. Get some
Sunshine, get some
sun, get some
wind.
grass.
Exactly. So he was like laying on the grass.
Yeah.
He's like, and like he's got everyone there around him, like
yeah.
like talking to him,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Am I dying?"
Oh.
And I'm like,
Poor
and
guy.
at this point, I've completely removed all responsibility once
Like-
like sober people show up.
Fuck it.
So I'm like, yeah, exactly. So I'm like,
No, see, what
he-
Gordon
so he-
doesn't tell about this is that
I mean, I remember.
Johnny was like, am I dying? And
I was
Goran kept being like, well, we're all dying.
I said it once
And Johnny was just like, oh, what? And I was just like,
because I go on the whole ethereal. Like,
Sure, totally. You're like-
I'll talk all about that stuff.
And you're like, yeah, totally. Of course, we're all dying. Like,
No,
so
Goran was-
You were
Goran-
like, what's the big deal?
no,
Like,
Goran was having a good time.
I said that in the sense of like, yeah, like we're all on our way to death.
Sure.
He
Right,
couldn't.
right.
What Goran couldn't recognize is that Johnny was not having a good time.
No, I can recognize that. Like I said, I just told Chris. You guys
just
showed
don't
up.
care.
You guys showed up. Exactly. You guys showed up, and I was like,
You didn't.
all right,
you didn't
I don't have to
care.
worry about him.
Yeah.
I just can enjoy my high
Sure.
and not, like,
Yeah.
you know, not,
You were already feeling so good that you
I didn't want to give it up.
No,
You were in you
no.
mode.
You find the time?
Well, it's better to be in
yeah.
there if you're on
Yeah.
acid. And it was acid, so it wasn't like
Oh, no.
as positive as like mushrooms.
Acid is like very, very
Visual.
reactionary.
It's
to-
more like you
Wait,
want to look at something.
wasn't acid? Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was acid.
I thought it was mushroom.
Would
Oh,
you
maybe
would
it's
you
not.
would you
No,
say
he took mushrooms with Sarah that one time.
would you say that acid makes you more susceptible to direction from others?
I prefer acid to mushroom.
Acid's less. To me, acid's less emotional. Acid's like
Yes.
it's here
It's a play thing.
versus emotion versus mushrooms is in here.
Ear.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Acid to me is like
I've never done
you want to
acid.
play around.
Yeah.
You want.
I was always a mushrooms
mushrooms
guy.
to me is
because-
like
yeah.
you want to work on something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mushrooms
no,
to me was like-
inner
Right.
shit.
Dude,
I
when I
don't
was
wanna
yeah,
work on- I don't
mushrooms
wanna work
made
on
me
anything.
mushrooms literally made me look at me the way I look at people.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, I'm a piece of shit. I remember and looking at other people and being like, dude, I
It's like the
love
right kind.
you.
It's like,
There's nothing
it's like
wrong
the right
with
kind
you.
of. It's like the right kind of.
Like I remember
paranoia.
holding myself accountable. I remember folding clothes up here and being like, dude, you're the worst.
Oh.
Like the way
Oh.
because it just I could be very critical,
Sure,
but I'm
sure.
loving, but I'm super critical. Like
Sure, hypercritical. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's like when I put that on me, I was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
like a lot. And it made me
Yeah.
realize like, oh, like no wonder Kantz was like, dude, when you criticize people, why don't you first start out with the good instead of being like, by the way, you were pretty good though. He was like, because people don't
Right.
believe it. He was like, the way
Uh,
you criticize, people don't believe that you actually, people think you're just saying at the end so you don't
Like
crush their
throwing-
soul.
Like
You-
throwing it in there. Right.
Yeah,
You
versus
you
like,
hurt first.
yeah, I'm always yeah, exactly. So he was like, no, dude, come out when you criticize people. Like, people aren't built like you, man. And I was like, dude, that's just happened to a Vietnam vet dad who's just like, learn to do it with your left arm. What if you're shot in the right arm and you can't do it? And being like, okay, I'll do it.
Right. And you're like a child, you know? And like, yeah, so that's fair. And it's so maybe your path with psychedelics like has healed your
Oh, dude, it helped me so much.
because you almost had like PTSD by proxy.
Yep.
You know, because like when you grow up with just your dad being like fucking going through his shit, and then you think like, oh, that's what an adult does, and like that's not what adults do.
My dad was just my dad was just not nurturing. My dad's nurturing is just like, oh yeah, all right, shut up and get over it and keep moving forward. It was like I was in a battalion, so I was
Like
like,
a warrior.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
I was
all
very
your
much
all your problems are so insignificant.
I was very
Yeah,
much
in
built
comparison.
that way, where I was just like, and that's the way I would talk to people is be like, well, shut up and do the right
Do
thing.
your job.
And people aren't built like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like many people aren't built. I was built like that. I'm someone where like negative things are what motivate me. I don't go after prizes. I run away from punishment.
I think he gave you the right
Yeah.
lessons. He just maybe didn't relay it.
No, he's a military vet, and
Right,
so
that's just the way he
he was
knew how to say it.
my dad's whole thing was just like be prepared.
Yeah.
That's like why when like he's the reason why I feel like when COVID crap happened and all that kind of stuff, when everyone was falling for all that stuff, I was one of the few people to be. You remember in the middle of it when I was walking in the store without a mask on, and you were like, "Dude, you're crazy," and I was like, "No, dude, my dad fucking fought for this.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm
we're
just gonna put a
fine.
mask on my face because
Yeah.
someone told me to
Yeah.
make people feel better." And like that was I embodied that. Like at certain points, you just have to be like, "Nope, I'm doing what I'm doing."
Yeah, yeah, and that's like in essence, Vinnie did not suffer from nice guy syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you never had that problem.
No, I would.
I had that problem in high school a little bit.
Possibly. Like if
You
if
you kick
say
yourself out
something-
of it probably way quicker than the average.
Yeah,
guy.
no. When I
But-
learned it wasn't working but that was the thing.
Guys don't normally learn that until like
we were literally
25 or
sitting
so.
around with like
Yeah. If
beakers.
that.
We were literally sitting around with like beakers, being like, "How do we get the vagina?" Like, do you remember that?
Oh my god.
You remember? And we would talk
Oh,
about. We
God.
would talk. We were like, remember when I said I was like, we are pussitarians.
Totally.
I was like, that's literally what we all sit around and we're like, how do we get girls to like us? And we spent so much time working. Yeah. We would literally sit around and be like, how do we do this? And I just remember being like, all right, well, one thing that's like, I just remember us sitting around being like, all right, we're funny. That definitely gets the door open, but none of like closing is always so optional. I was like, yeah, if you get them over and we're drinking and they're into it, cool. But like,
That's not.
yeah, exactly.
You don't want to do that every
That's
single
not
time, right?
sustainable. That's
Right,
not
right.
high quality. We're
No, it's
we're
not
also 20 some years old
Yeah,
and stupid.
Young and dumb.
Yeah, we were young and dumb, and we were just literally all of us were just sitting around being like, we all just want like girls to come over here, and we would
girlfriend.
and we would get exactly. We'd get like one and just all be like, oh, shut up, faggot. Yeah, you faggot.
Like, oh,
that's
this all attention's great, and then she.
We'll share you.
yeah,
and then her
exactly.
boyfriend picks her up in a.
No, dude, we used to talk. Do you remember how I used to talk about that with us with the competition?
Fuck
I'd be like,
you.
it's always free and open. I was like, I'm never gonna get upset. Remember, I would literally have talks. We would sit around. I'd have talks with guys and be like, I'm not gonna get upset if I hook up with a girl and a week later she hooks up with you because she likes you better. This is open competition. We're all friends.
That was
never.
Hard. That was hard for a lot of us.
Yeah, I was like,
You
never
know.
let it get in the way of us being friends. It's not because I hate you if
Yeah.
I hook up with a girl. It's just because she likes me better. Vice versa. Like if you
Yeah.
do well,
It's not a big deal, and like, I think I started to get that, and then that's when like when I moved away, I started to get that, and I was like, oh, okay, this isn't as serious as I thought.
we tried to have
You
hippie.
know.
My whole thing was like trying to have hippie rules, where it was like it's all everyone's got a fair shot, man.
Sure, and like, and then like, but like, and the funny thing is like the girls we were hanging out with were so far ahead of us.
Oh, dude, yeah.
You know, they were like leagues ahead of us, and we were just the guys that were close in age to these girls, but they were leagues ahead of us in social dynamics, you know, and they were just toying with us,
Yeah.
you know, and but not in a bad way. I'm not judging,
Yeah.
but it just is what it is.
No, I'll pick you up from New Jersey and take you to Pittsburgh. Like stuff.
Bro, shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
no, we go like we were too. It was one of those things where we were too nice. We were too serving. We didn't have any. We weren't working on anything. We were like, we'll be
Oh.
funny, and then we'll try to get laid.
But
That
we-
was our whole. And if we can't get laid, then we'll get high.
But
Like,
right,
that was
but we
like-
didn't.
that was
See,
our life.
We didn't see our day-to-day life being like, oh,
Speaking of,
this. We didn't see our day-to-day life being like, oh, I'm just getting high, I'm eating shitty, I'm not working out, I'm playing video games. That's not sexy.
sounds like my life right now.
Well, but like if you're an adult and you
Well,
can
remember-
manage it,
Yeah.
and if you can still get shit done, that's different. Because like
Mm.
women don't like fucking lazy slobs.
Well, remember when I went
You
to
know.
Pro Scout and they were like, "You're 20 pounds overweight," and then I lost 40 pounds in 40 days.
That was sick.
I went vegan and did P90X for that time. And the same exact time, that's when me and Rachel hooked up. I was just like, everything's coming together.
Well, but, so you got your shit together.
I did. No.
and
yeah.
Rachel saw that and she was like, "Oh, Vinny's got his shit together. Why would I mess with these other guys? Like, this is the guy, you know, I want to be with. Like, he's not fucking."
I just never went back to Pro Scout. That was the thing. It was so dumb. I literally had a commercial agent that was like, lose 20 pounds, I'll be your commercial agent. I never went back. I don't know what the hell that was
Well,
about.
you found love, dude.
Yeah, no, exactly. No,
you
I
know,
felt
like,
hard.
You found love,
Dude, by
And-
August, I was like 220 because me and Rachel were just like, ever you go out to eat.
You're like, "Oh, I got her. Let's Chili's."
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No,
Yeah.
dude, we just went out to eat like every meal and just came home and, did stuff. And then, yeah, that was literally, dude, that's when I started stand up too.
Good stuff. What,
No,
kind,
dude.
what kind of stuff?
Oh,
We- like,
wow.
patty cake.
Oh, wow.
No, but literally, that's when I started
Naked
doing.
Olympics.
I was
Yeah, really.
late. I was late to my first ever mentors like stand up thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, "Go on stage." He's like, "Do your stuff." And I was like, "Hi, I'm Vinny. I'm an asshole." That's literally how I started. I was like, "I'm late because I just got a new girlfriend." We were literally sitting in the bed being like, "No, you're cuter. No, you're cuter.
Solid
no, you're
start.
cute." And he was like, "Dude, if you're that honest, you'll be great."
Yeah,
Because I was
solid start.
because we were just like, I remember just sitting there and being like, "Yeah, dude, the reason I'm late here is because there's a girl sitting in my bed that's more attractive than any girl I could ever imagine being with."
Oh god, that's so raw.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're fucking in love like that, like you don't fucking care.
Dude, the
you
first-
don't have to eat.
Yeah.
You know, like you're just like like nothing scares you.
You're just banging.
You're just banging, and you're just like.
I just remember doing
nothing
P90X
bothers
and
you.
just I just remember doing
Eating food in
P90X
that
and
period.
literally just only eating like only drinking like chocolate soy milk and eating like veggie burgers.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just
I
like this.
Dude, it's crazy what that'll do to you. And then
Fish tacos and clams.
you and Rachel actually sustained
Uh-huh.
it though.
Yeah, well,
You know what I
that's-
mean?
Yeah, well, that's because
Hmm.
literally when I was younger, the thing that messed me up is I remember watching like World War II stuff and being like, wait, she waited like how many years for him to come home?
15 fucking.
She
years.
didn't wait.
No, but they did. That's the thing that's crazy. And I remember being like,
She was getting it.
I remember being like,
Mike, don't say it.
no, but I remember being like, oh, like I remember being like, that's the girl I want.
Sure.
And then when I was in a year and a half with Megan and got cheated on, I was like, you're all hoes. I'm done. Like I'm done. I'm done
Going
saying
gay now.
Yeah, no, I'm done saying you're my girlfriend. Like, you know what?
Vacation.
you went full like.
I went full F boy, like you said.
Well, but
Yeah,
who,
exactly.
who was that guy that made that song in the bread aisle? Catch me in the bread aisle. Who's that? Who's that rapper from Westchester in the late 2000s that was really popular? He was like the first fuck boy. Fucking Asher Roth. That was like your lifestyle. You were like, oh, we're just gonna party, hang out with chicks, dress cool, fuck, boom, that's it.
And I didn't care. And the thing that made other
Sounds good
girls
to
like
me.
me is the fact that girls from improv would come in and other girls would be like, "Stay away from him, he's bad."
Well,
And I would just be cool and nice, and
little
eventually,
did
yeah.
you know at the time that works?
I had no clue.
For a
And no, I look back and now know, and I was like, "Oh, my reputation preceded me," and they all thought that I was gonna act like I was gonna sleep with them, and then I wouldn't.
Yeah,
And then that was the thing, and I didn't know that was the formula.
because you were just doing you, and
Yeah.
like nowadays, if like guys try to replicate that because they learn that online through dating videos, because it's fucking everywhere. It just
Mhm.
comes off as like lame and weak, and it's like, and that does work for some girls. I think for you and Rachel, that didn't matter. You know what I mean? Because she had more than enough attention.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
think they can also just smell it though too. I think they can also just smell that like when a dude is getting attention,
Oh, totally.
they
I was
they
dating
want
Tasha at the
they
same
want
time.
to
Yeah.
be like
You.
in contention. Like
Oh, sure.
I only had one dude. I only had one period in my
Female
life
version.
where that happened. It was when I lived up in Boyertown.
Yeah, they can
And I
smell each
split-
other on you.
Yeah.
Split with that girl, and I hooked up with that girl I was talking about before we went live. And literally, I think that week, I one night hooked up with that girl, and then also hooked up with the sister of the girl that I was living with.
In
And then
one night?
2 days later, banged another girl in that house. From
That's-
that was a separate girl. So like 3 girls in like the span of like 4 or 5 days.
You had momentum.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's-
it's
you can
weird, dude.
smell it,
Momentum.
dude. And once you're like kind of walking down that path, man, it's just like it's like they fall into it. I've never been able to replicate that.
No,
ever.
dude,
many-
it's
how many
it's-
girls?
Chris, no,
It was
like
3
my-
girls and like
my-
Yeah,
3 or
my
4
exactly.
thing-
It's like
days.
after
Improv
each,
was like my
after each
hunting
girl,
ground.
you just
Yeah.
get
Like literally,
you
dude.
get, you get more and more
you-
confident, and you get less and less worried and like
Yep.
nervous. So
it was
it's just
it was
more
also
likely to happen again.
it was a
It's already
confluence
happened.
of so
It
many
happened
things.
last
Imagine
night.
happening
It's also
twice
because
in
you
the
have-
same like
yeah.
week. How
Yeah.
fucking great must you feel?
It's also
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's also because
Cloud
as a
nine.
guy you also have multiple girls that you're working on, so you never do the like
You never
oh-
get too hyper
you-
focused.
no,
on
you
one,
never do
yeah.
the woe me's and you
What
never
do
do
they
the
call
oh
it?
texting.
One-itis.
What is
They call it one-itis
one-itis.
when you're just like hyper focused on one girl and she can feel it. And
She knows that she's
ev-
at the top of the list.
Even if she already fucked you, she's not gonna fuck you now because you're giving her too much attention.
Yeah.
She could feel that. But if you're actually like seeing other women or actually just living your
Busy.
fucking life,
Yeah.
she's gonna be like, oh, I'm not a big fucking deal to him. Like this is what I want. I don't want to be the main source of his satisfaction
Yep.
and try to
It's creepy.
cure his motherly wounds and shit.
Yeah,
You
dude,
know?
it also one of those things when you have purpose. Like when I was walking around at that time, I knew I was like, I'm gonna be a comedian.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna be
Yep.
funny.
When
Yeah.
you're
I'm doing this.
Yep.
I'm rapping, and I would just work. Like if I didn't have other time, I would just work on that.
Work
and so I
on
was coming out with songs when we would do improv. I was always like,
confident.
yeah, exactly. That was the thing.
Confident.
And women immediately are just like, whoa, like it's like
what's he
it's like-
about?
exactly.
What's he
Dude, it's
doing?
the same thing with playing music. It's the
Exactly.
same
Like,
exact
you just get in
thing.
your
Yeah,
element, and when you're in that
absolutely.
element, you know, like it's one of those things where like you even know you're like they're looking at me. I'm not even gonna look at them.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Right
exactly.
at that point,
it's weird.
At
It's
that
so
point,
crazy.
But then when you're at like the opposite end, like after some girl just fucking rejected you hardcore, and then you're just like on your phone, like, oh, I should text this girl. Text her. It's
Ugh.
on red. Oh, I should text this girl. Oh,
Never.
maybe this girl I used to hook up with. I'm gonna hit her up right now.
They
And
can smell that like desperation.
She
Yeah.
smells the desperation, and no one wants to fuck desperation.
No.
Even men.
No.
Men don't even want to fuck desperation, and we'll
Right.
fuck anything. You know. And
Well, we'll fuck desperation. We just won't date it.
yeah, oh, it's so true. It's so, but like it's
Let's be real.
Vacation, all I ever wanted.
oh, dude, it's so true. But like even like this, like you're still doing things, you're still finding your purpose, and like now you're in a marriage, you know, and that's a whole nother.
Oh,
ball
dude, it's a
game.
whole nother. The
Whole
fields have
nother
shifted completely.
the goalposts have shifted, you
Yeah.
know, and like it's just crazy because it's like
What's all? Oh,
I think I was gonna say I think at the time when we were younger, we were all like I was like, oh, for sure Jim's gonna get married at some point. And then I was even thinking like, oh, Russ is gonna have kids by the time we're 30. Turns out it's just Vinny. Like getting married first. You know what I mean?
yeah.
and,
Well, Jim's
Jim got-
got pregnant.
Right now. You know what I mean? Like, and I
He's
know I
pregnant.
always knew Jim was gonna do that because he was so
Yeah.
like he was like, I'm not making moves.
No man, dude.
unless
Do you
it
know
has to
how?
happen."
Do you know how many
Attractive
times Chris
mindset.
Yeah.
Chris with me would always be like, "Move to California, move to California."
Oh, dude.
He would say it
Dude,
to
I
me
almost did
so
it.
much.
I almost did it myself.
He would tell me that I would. Dude,
Vinny was the one who saved me.
I was this close in 2012, dude. That's because things got
That-
crazy. I'm so
no,
glad it didn't. But
That was before. That was
Right,
before it
right.
got crazy. You were just like, you don't have to even bother with that. You can just stay in Philly and like do everything you need to do here. And I just ended up like,
big fish in small pond. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it
That was
turns
the thing I
turns
got.
out you don't need to. You
Yeah,
know?
no, I'm glad. Oh, dude. But I remember
Oh,
that
no, I
used
didn't.
to. I remember you used to talk about what's it called with me with all the time. You were like, the way he's built, he should just go out there and do that stuff. Because I just used to just be like, if we weren't trying to do something, I would just be like creating. Like I couldn't
Yeah.
stop. I
Yeah.
remember just being so like in flow and so inspired, and like I was either playing guitar or I was doing stuff or writing sketches and all that kind of stuff. But the thing that would happen is we'd be like, we're gonna film this sketch, and then we'd get high and just be like,
Never do it.
never do. Yeah, exactly.
And like that was like the downfall. And it's funny now
Yeah.
because like now I don't even smoke. You know what I mean? And I look back on that time and I was like, yeah, I enjoyed it. But like, yeah, there was a lot of drive that was not active because of it. Well, at least for me, but that's not everyone.
no, I could see that.
Some people smoke weed and their drive is activated or it's more present. But for me, I was like, oh, not Kesha, but I'm going to listen to Kylie Minogue and try to figure out what this album actually means. You know what I mean? Like I lost my
I think
drive,
that's
you
a
know?
rarity to have weed affect you in a way to make you motivated.
Yeah.
I think it mainly is used as like a relaxant.
I
Mm.
was like I was either
in different ways, in different degrees, and
Yeah.
and then
I was
used-
either a nighttime smoker, and then if you knew I smoked in the day, then I knew I wasn't doing anything.
That's how I am.
So like
Yeah.
most of the
Yeah.
time I would smoke at night, and then it was funny. I'd come home and Chris would just be like hanging out and doing stuff. Be like, "Yo, man, let's watch the Crystal Skull or like whatever." or no, what was the puppet?
It's the Dark Crystal.
Dark- yeah,
okay?
exactly.
It's Jim Henson's 1982 film. It's a classic. All right.
And I remember watching like 5 minutes of this and being like,
won the Academy Award.
"This is all puppets, dude." And he was like, "No, dude, you gotta wait." And I'm like, "I can't do this. I feel too gay. I can't do it."
Okay, so
The
that brings,
puppets are people, man.
that brings me to another point. So like that shit. So let's talk about inspiration. All right.
Okay.
So like inspiration could be lost through drugs and alcohol and all that shit.
Mhm.
But like really if it inspires you to even fucking clean your house, I think it's important.
Clean your room, Bucko.
Yeah, I was saying,
Uh,
right,
I-
Jordan Peterson.
I'm not going down the Jordan Peterson route. But I'm saying like dude, yeah.
Just I will not do it. You're gonna die soon.
Take the biggest.
The whole thing is just bloody.
But like
murder.
it's funny you brought up the Dark Crystal. Like I have a poster of the Dark Crystal that I keep.
Oh
in
no,
my
I remember
room.
you love the Dark
and
Crystal.
I love it
I
because
can't get through it.
but
I wish I could.
and it's funny
I
how
felt like a bad friend not being able to watch that
it's
movie.
all good, but like it's funny how like something so little like that like inspires me and like it makes me feel good, and then now as an adult I go, okay, that inspires me, and that makes me feel good, and no one can tell me otherwise, so I can take that with me to my job. You know what I mean? And then I feel good, and then I do a good job. You
I
know
wish
what
I knew
mean?
one character's name from the Dark Crystal.
Oh God,
Kermit.
no, God.
No, what?
I just guessed Jim Henson.
The
so.
sketches were scary, but like you know,
I don't know it.
you know what I mean? Like I like nowadays as like an adult who's not like pursuing anything creative, you know, I still try to find like creative inspiration, you know, and if it makes me feel good, it's like I forget because like I don't sit down to watch movies anymore. It's like I work out and I train and then I go home. That's it. Or like if I'm seeing a woman, then like that's the focus. You know what I mean? And then like, but like back when we were kids, I'll say we were kids.
Pretty much.
There was like it was like this like unfocused inspiration everywhere, you know. But now it's like, wait, I'm still alive. I can still get inspired. I can still pursue things if I want to. But what's the goal? The
Still
goal,
land that man that you've always wanted.
but I'll get him one of these days. Justin Derry, if you're out there. But like you could, I just feel like you can still have inspiration, and that's the goal ultimately. Not getting famous necessarily, not getting.
I just wish we would have made a YouTube channel, all of us, way back in the day.
That probably would have been good for us.
We probably all should. That's why I did this, because instead it's so much easier to just sit around and talk.
Well, it's more fun.
Yeah, than it is, because this is what we did. Imagine if we just had this set up when we were back in the day.
We'd have 2,000 episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and like we might be somewhere different.
Oh,
We're not.
totally.
We're not. The Spideyverse put us here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's and like that's the part where like I don't feel like I wasted my youth. It still led me to here.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Well, dude, and I know this is corny, but like, as cheesy as it sounds, like,
I've been corny for the past 5 minutes, so you're
well,
good.
no, I'm just saying, like, it
Jesus sounds. I love all you guys.
yeah. We should all hold hands.
Yeah.
We should say a good thing. I'm just saying, you can, just because I think you've gained a perspective with getting older with that you can now apply, that if you choose to dedicate a certain amount of time to something,
Yeah.
you have the knowledge and the, I guess, life experience to put it in its place
Totally.
and manage it better.
Totally.
As opposed to when you were younger, because you said it was like this like cloud of like stuff that you were just like kind of
Reaching.
pushing yourself through, whereas now you can kind of like focus that a little bit better. It might not work out the way you want it to all the time, but at least I think it's better to like have the perspective that you have with getting older.
Absolutely. And like that's and also like it's like, oh yeah, like getting into jiu-jitsu, you know.
I was literally just looking at a post of the
Yeah.
coach teaching the Peruvian.
It's like the Peruvian choke. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
But it's like I
Fantastic.
could be like, oh, you know what? I went to 6 classes a week. I could get here when I want to get here, you know? And then it's like, well, what if and it's like, you know, I think like, shit, what if I just quit my job, but I saved up money before I did that? And then I trained all day.
Dude, I've literally had the exact same thought.
Yeah, it's like I trained all day, every day. Well, I would learn a lot of jujitsu. I'm never going to become Gordon Ryan, you know, or
No one will.
some pro like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
But it's like, but I could still put that time in that inspiration.
Proportionally speaking, it's still going to be invaluable to you in your life
It's invaluable
in different ways.
in different ways, but
Depending on what you need to work on.
but valuable in the
person.
sense that like if you can still master an art at
Yeah.
any age. Now there are restrictions. Like I'm not going to be the heavyweight champion of the world,
Right.
but I could still master an art
Mm-hmm.
if I chose to put the time in. But there is that kind of like ticking clock of like, well, when it comes to that, you're going to have to do that now, you know? Whereas like you want to be like a painter, like there are people that like start painting in their 50s and then they have shows in their 60s.
Yeah, you
know
got
what I mean?
Frank Zappa, who picks his guitar at like 30.
Yeah, shit like that. You know, but that's a little less stressful in the body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like being aware of where you are and then being like, well, what really sparks me? You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's fun. I'm just gonna do that.
What really creams my corn.
What really creams?
Well, dude, if you think about it, like
Creams my
improv,
corn.
remember Dan? Dan was like
Damn.
our age. Big Dan, do you remember Big Dan?
Mm.
Funny. He was very good with like if he mimed something, he'd finish it.
Okay.
Like that's what was cool about Dan. Like if he was flying a kite, like in a scene, before he'd leave, he'd like tie it down.
Roll it up. He tie it down.
Yeah, he'd like tie and stuff like that. Like he wouldn't give up. Like he wouldn't like meme a table and walk through it. Like he was
Yeah.
someone who was very. But yeah, no, like that's the type of thing. But like, yeah, no, being able to. That's what's cool about arts.
Yeah.
It's like when you're younger, you kind of want to do sports, and as you get older, it's like going into arts, play music,
It's like
do
yeah.
comedy, do things like that.
It's
Because comedy's so much easier now that you're older. It's
Ugh.
crazy. It's so much easier to see funny things because you're like, dude, I've been that idiot. You know what I mean? Like I've
Oh,
done
Yeah,
that.
well, you got more life experience too.
More
so
life
Exactly.
You have more to base
I've
it
been
off
the
of.
guy who's sitting there being like, dude, if I just take her to one more movie with that
Whoa.
other dude, she'll see that it's me.
you give less of a shit.
I'm just gonna do a little courtesy time check. By the way, we're at
11:37.
Who cares? It
I don't-
doesn't matter.
It's just up to you guys, but like yeah, so like I think that's what's fun. Like dude, the past year for me has been like, dude, like literally, it's like, oh my god, I have arthritis in my hand.
Oh, dude, getting
know
older
what I mean?
sucks. My knee has just been for like the last 4 months has just been like, I'm gonna be like 80%. I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, what am I supposed to do about this? It's like, oh, no, it's just being old.
No, it's just that's where you are now.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh fuck, it's happening. And it's like, okay, well, what really matters? It's like, oh well, I need to have a roof over my head. I need to have food first, right?
And bitches.
And bitches. But like, if that's important to you, what do you got to do to get to that point?
What do you got to do to get bitches?
So, well, if that's what's important, what do you got to do? Well, you got to have a nice place. So, what do you got to do? You got to clean. You know what I mean? It's like you got to have nice stuff. But or like if you want to be fucking the next Gordon Ryan, even at fucking 32 or something like that, what do you got to do? You got to eat healthy.
Even at
You
like
gotta- you gotta train.
65.
Yeah, even at like 83.
83. But you know what But like it's like you got to fucking do it, and it's like, or like to get really corny,
you're the one whose limbs are falling apart. So.
to
Easy
be like really corny. It's like for me, it's like well, what's important? It's like, well, I got to face my fears. Because
Yeah.
if I die and I don't face my fears, not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, all right, so what?
Yeah, man.
What can I do today?
Because in reality, you were afraid of those fears for nothing.
Right.
'Cause
And
you
then-
didn't legitimately know if you were meant to be afraid of that fear.
and so you got to face that shit, and like
Wow.
that's,
It's true.
I get down with that shit because like I like to be
Told you.
Hits joint.
I like to be a little scared, Yeah. Because then I
Well, that's what jiu-jitsu does. Is
I
like it
appreciate-
forces you to be uncomfortable and
forces you
just
to be
be okay with it.
and then
Figure out a way to be okay with it.
and then I go home and then I do appreciate little shit, But that's just
I'm glad I'm not being choked right now.
dude. Any day I roll is a good day
Oh yeah.
because in that session,
Yeah, man, Molly's awesome.
in it,
Any day I roll.
I mean, that's also true.
that's also true. But like,
have you tried rolling while
Yeah.
rolling?
On
Yo, man,
with
I
weed?
love you, dude. That's all.
Maybe a whole different game.
I knew it.
But like, dude, like that's where like jujitsu's been like oddly good for me. I only found it like 6 months ago, but it's like, yeah, this dude, like when you tap, what does that mean? That means you're dead. And like that's super.
Sometimes you get
Oh,
real
yeah,
damn
no,
close to
no.
that.
of
super
course.
humbling.
Oh, yeah,
and then you're like, you look at the person who tapped you, and you're like, fucking, you
Like
tapped
a
me.
14-year-old girl.
You're like, I thought I was like tough shit, and it's like,
Right.
no, I
Yeah,
wasn't.
and then
tough
you
shit.
buy a gun and you make sure you never get close to anyone ever again.
but like,
There, I tapped them all.
Yeah.
that's like I don't
Double
know.
tap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Jiu-jitsu's like a whole different
No,
thing.
jujitsu's super humble.
But it's super humbling, and then eventually you start getting like, oh, I tapped someone today. Fuck. Now I got to keep doing that.
But then you get tapped a bajillion
Immediately
more times.
after that.
No, it
Even
takes
by,
it
probably
takes,
even by the same person.
it
And
takes
then-
a very, very, very long time to go from being the person who is the tapper to the tappy.
Oh, dude.
Like you, it.
Other way around.
Other way.
What?
Tappy to tapper.
Whatever. You know what I meant.
whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Shut up, Morty. You know what I meant.
But no, it's true. But
I gotta go take a shit.
But like, I bet it probably takes until you're a brown belt to catch up in that crap. You know what I mean? Like, how many times you tap in the beginning?
Purple is usually.
No,
the
no, I'm talking
beginning.
about till you tap in the beginning.
oh, sure.
Like, because how many taps do you think you have until you first tap? I can't.
Oh.
Doing Aikido, and then we pretty much were doing jujitsu. We just didn't
Yeah.
call it that when I was younger.
Oh, keto is part of jiu-jitsu.
Like when we talked to,
Standing game. Standing game.
Like-
It's minor.
but like
I'm thinking of judo. I'm thinking of judo.
Yeah, judo's very
My bad.
similar.
Aikido and judo are very similar. They're throwing. Yeah, what's it called? It's a lot of throwing, a lot of momentum.
But
But-
judo's better.
Yeah.
But when we did, but when I did, we would roll a lot, and there was a lot of like I don't even think he maybe it's not that he realized, maybe he just didn't call it, but we were
Yeah.
doing jujitsu,
Yeah.
and
You were grappling.
yeah, exactly.
You were grappling.
I can't imagine. Like I think about how many times it took to like tapping to eventually where it's like, oh, I'm making other people tap. It's
Right.
like
You-
1,000 to
because-
1. Like not-
Exactly. You have to spend so much time to figure out how to prevent yourself from getting even close to being tapped before you can even think about how to get a good position
Oh,
to even like hold someone down, and then to get them in the position to where you can tap them.
dude, it's
It's
crazy and it's cool. And then like the thing is
quite a
like
puzzle.
it took like all of your energy.
Oh,
in
yeah.
that day. and then you're like, fuck, I'm like beat. And then you go, holy shit, I haven't had a workout like that in years.
Yep.
And then like you go to work and someone's giving you shit and you're like, dude, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't care what
Right.
you say to me.
Yeah, it's like that. There's a meme I saw that was like, this guy driving in his car.
I gotta bring it closer.
Stop.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
tilt the mic up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. Imagine that thing's
Oh.
Justin Derry.
Oh God. Guess what else, Dad?
Oh, what's up, Justin? How are you?
Look away, Rachel.
But yeah, the guy's driving in his car, and
Yeah.
he has a thought bubble pop above his head, and he's just like thinking about like work problems, wife problems, whatever. And then he just goes into a room, puts on a key, starts rolling.
Yeah.
And like there's like no thought.
There's
bubbles.
no
or
thought.
his thought bubbles are like, all right, get to like
Side
past
control.
leg, get to side control,
Yeah.
get to
He
Americana.
put on his
whatever.
gay, and his
Yeah.
wife and kids went away.
Yeah. No, later you just like when you're with your wife, you're just like, and I'm going to Kimura this bitch. And she's going to tap out.
We should show each other our favorite moves. I'm like,
Dude, it's fucking true though, because like it's a weird fucking art in the sense that like, yeah, like you don't think when you're rolling.
No, there's
And-
nothing to think about besides like don't die.
surviving.
Right, but like that's
Yeah.
that's
But there's something beautiful about that.
Peaceful. It's
About like forcing your
peaceful.
brain, because like when you're lifting weights or when you're doing even other sports, like you have so much time mentally to let life get in the way. Whereas jujitsu, like that's
Yeah, someone's trying to
literally it,
kill
like,
you and you
exactly.
have to
it's
kill
the most
them.
intense thing
Yeah,
that can
It's
be happening to you.
competition. You're competing.
It's more than competition, dude.
No.
I'm
It's
saying-
because it's competition on a
It's such a
evolutionary
primal,
thing where it's like,
yeah, it's a
oh,
primal competition.
like
Yeah.
if this was real, you're practicing for like if I met you in the wild.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to equate
gonna
that
win?
to like
Who's gonna win?
Who's gonna
Yeah.
fucking?
It's similar
I'm gonna
with
fucking
sports.
Win.
Yeah, exactly.
sports is
And
the same way
sometimes it's
with
like
that.
you know you're not going to win, and you just have to like
it's a
stay
sport.
alive.
Well,
Stay alive.
Yep.
it's a sport, but then there's so many people who do jujitsu for like that are not competitive who just enjoy that intensity.
Hobbyist.
No, and that's
So, yeah,
my
all
point.
that,
It's
right.
mentally, it's when you're playing a sport. If you're playing it, Vinny, you know this with the football and stuff. If you're playing it at like a high level,
Yeah.
If you're really, really actually focusing on it, you can't be thinking about like, oh, I have this going on at home, or
but I'm saying that
Yes,
takes
yes.
a person who took the time to take the sport seriously and then devote their life to it. Whereas like jujitsu,
Jujitsu,
the
because
average
someone's
person-
trying to
the average
murder
person-
you,
The
you
average
can't-
person, new person, is putting the exact same mentality as some like a black belt. It's
Yeah.
just that the black belt has been putting that reality
Ooh.
a bajillion times.
That's a
that they
good way of
have an
looking at
arsenal.
it.
And
Yeah.
and they can slow down their thinking.
It's
a
just
bit.
different because it's one of those things where it's pressed
how I
upon
feel
you.
about it.
No,
You know
that's
what I
a good
mean?
point.
Like, yeah, no, but it's because it's it's a primal thing. Fighting, warrior stuff, that stuff's very, very primal. But I understand what Mike's saying. Like, you can definitely you definitely get in the same flow. But jujitsu, it's forced upon you. In football, you get there.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I
You
mean?
get there Friday night,
Yeah.
you know, or whenever. But like,
it's just it's that like that like blank mind mentality of you're so focused on what you're doing, and it's so reactionary and it's so quick paced.
and it's nothing.
And
it's-
jujitsu, it's you don't get a break. Whereas like in a sport, there's plays and there's like football, there's a downs, and so like
Yeah.
there's people standing around and stuff. So there's
Right.
time to get distracted. Where like the best athletes and the best competitors, like they don't lose focus in those times. Like you
No.
think of people like Ronaldo. You know what I mean? Like
ugh,
that dude is like the pinnacle of being so focused on what you're
Focused, right.
doing that he's in it constantly,
Yeah.
and he's not able to concentrate on anything but focusing his
Right.
entire being
Yeah,
on
or
that.
someone who like straight people
you-
know, like
you know
Tom
what the
Brady.
you know what the
Tom Brady.
you know what the
Tom
funny
Brady,
thing
bro.
is?
No, I know.
The funny thing about jujitsu is though is that then you'll see people, and I have a couple of guys at my place who do this. Jake's one of them. We do it back and forth where you'll get good enough where you can kind of talk to each other while it's happening about
Oh,
like other
yeah.
topics, and then you can like make fun of each other too.
Yeah.
During it, so it's like it's interesting how
You start
you get that
laughing.
level.
Well, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
start- you
Like,
start
I'll
laughing.
slap him in the face sometimes. Like
Yeah.
just
Oh,
to be
dude,
silly.
it's funny you say, but it's like it's weird how we can get in these zones. Like one of the things that was crazy is like when I started doing one of the things when I was doing stand up for that little bit of time. The most interesting thing is once I got like a super solid 5 minutes
Yeah.
was the fact that when I was up there, I'd be talking,
Mm.
and I could then start looking around the audience, and my mouth is moving, my mouth is doing the act, but I'm thinking about other things. That was the weirdest thing.
You're reading.
I only got to experience that a couple times, but I was just like, this is because it's so rehearsed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I've had that on stage. I've had that on
Dude,
stage
for
before.
when we toured. Oh, dude. You want to talk about that, man?
It's dude, that's the weirdest feeling in the world. Being like,
Oh.
I'm doing something right now, and I'm like, because you're probably singing, but you're like talking, and you're like, but in my head, this whole other thing is going
Yeah,
on.
I've-
we're
I've had that
looking
on
out in
stage
the
before.
audience, like seeing how people reacting,
exactly.
like who's taking pictures, like that. It's
Dude, I've been doing. I've done like full monologues where I'm just like I hate the monologue because it's so long or whatever. I just go into autopilot, brain wise. But
Do you think that's like what do you call it? It's like almost an out of body experience.
yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
It's
dude,
like the closest, yeah,
yes.
exactly. It's
Yep.
probably the closest thing to
100%.
it because you're sitting there and you're sitting there, you're like, oh, that person's in the back, they're drinking a Coors Light. That person over there,
Yeah.
that girl's pretty.
Yeah.
that dude's jacked as shit.
Yeah.
Like that's literally
Yeah,
like,
these random thoughts.
you're just
Yeah.
you're sitting there like, wow, that dude's cool.
Like,
Like,
dude, we're like it's so, dude, it's so funny that you bring that because you're noticing that, and like I'm also like we're between songs. I'm like tuning my bass.
Mm.
We're like getting like with the intro ready to a next song. Like it's you're noticing all those tiny little details about random people in like an audience or like things going on side stage or backstage while you're doing stuff. It's like
It's
it's very, very crazy.
It's also peaceful.
it's just weird that your brain can do that. The fact that like I'm literally telling jokes, like I'm
Yeah.
coming up with timing, like. But the thing was, I trusted my set so much that I'm not like, oh, I'm worried. I'm just like, ooh, like you said, out of body. Where all of a sudden I'm like, whoa,
It's like you're playing the video game
yeah, it's weird.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's trippy.
I get why some people become like all of a sudden you can do crowd work easier because like I never really did crowd work much,
Yeah.
but it's like one of those things where you could do it just because like you're sitting there and in your mind you're doing these jokes, but you all of a sudden can just observe everyone and then you can like the whole thing is like what I really think's happening is a lot of times guys are up there and they're doing their jokes and then they think of jokes while they're doing jokes because there's someone there who's got like an armband and you're like, look at this Allen Iverson
just
motherfucker.
drop,
Like, you know what I
they
mean?
just drop the joke and go right into it. They're like,
Yeah,
"This is
exactly.
better. I'm gonna uplift the crowd. You know, like you feel the crowd when you're up there.
Oh,
you
100%. Dude, that's why, what's it called? Tony Hitchcliff talks about it. He's like, you guys are pulling back. Don't pull back on me. Because, like,
don't-
you can tell when all of a sudden everyone in the crowd's like, am I allowed to laugh? And you're like,
Oh, and he's brutal too. He'll be like, oh, they must be fucking fascists in this group. You
Oh,
know?
dude.
And he'll just like he'll do something to wake him up real quick, like say something like that.
dude, his abortion abortion thing where he talks about Alabama. He's like, he's like, abortion's illegal in Alabama. He was like, and that's the number one. He's like, that's the number one place where if you're born in Alabama, you live in Alabama. he's like, if you're born in Alabama, it's probably better if you were just aborted.
Oh my
Like,
god.
that's what he said.
Are you guys gonna try to get up front for Tony?
What do you mean?
He's coming to Philly.
Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't care. Like I'll see him for wherever. I like Tony. I'm literally. I want to go to Austin to.
He wants to go and kill
like,
Tony.
Yeah, dude.
You want to go on it?
Oh yeah, dude. I want to. I
You should
want
up
to go.
there.
I've been in. We went to Austin or whatever, and dude, and literally, like, I was just like, this is the You could just tell. It's like this is the comedy capital of the world.
You fucking met John Danaher
Mm-hmm.
in Austin. This
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu
That
guy.
fucking weirdo.
And like, but like the fact that like
He's Gordon Ryan's coach.
Yeah.
Gordon Ryan is he's thinking about doing the MMA.
he's the best.
He will rape everyone.
He's the best jiu-jitsu player in the world right now, and he has been for like 5 years. But like, it sounds like Austin is like
Dude, Austin is
jiu-jitsu-
Austin.
it's a
jiu-jitsu and comedy.
When
capital.
you were telling me to go to
Yeah.
California, that's Austin now.
okay.
That's
That's
what
Austin
it is.
right
Because
now.
Austin is
Yeah.
just like that's where things are happening.
That's crazy.
Like
to me.
comedy's alive
We should,
there.
we should
Like you
take-
can say whatever you want. Like, dude, I thought of a joke. Hans Kim literally took it, but I literally was thinking, and this hopefully this doesn't get the stream pulled down, but literally I thought of the same.
I don't
The
think he
beginning
took
part.
it.
No, he didn't took it. He thought of the same thing, but it's
Yeah.
like one of those things. Hans Kim's doing it arenas right now.
It
But I
was
remember
in
literally
Luther.
being like, I was like writing. I remember Gordon, I'd call you and I would be like, I don't know how to do this. I'd be like, my pronouns are retard faggot. and like stuff like that.
Oh
And
my
he
God.
just came out and said it. And then his next line afterwards is the part where Hans Kim added in. It's genius. He's like, that's because I don't know if I'm going to be performing for a bunch of retards in Austin or a bunch of faggots. And I was like, but that's like
Wow.
real comedy. That's
Yeah.
like right into the gut of like what society is. Where you're like, oh, you're
Yeah.
sensitive there. I'm gonna shove my joke right in there.
And
Right.
like,
Like,
it
No
might-
lube.
Yeah, exactly.
It might, and like
Oh, dog.
for someone like you, Vinny, who like isn't that well known in stand up, like it might only take you a minute before you can throw that in and get comfortable in a place like Austin. You know what I mean?
Dude, when we went there, Goran knew, like, I was literally buzzing, like, right away. Like, I approached the one girl who happened to be a booker immediately and was like, how do I break into the room? And she gave me her information and stuff about how to do that.
Let's go.
And I was just like, dude, it's not like here. Austin, you're like, when you're in Philly or you're in New York, it's like a super city. Everyone's got their walls up. There, it was like, you can just talk to people. You feel like, I don't know. I guess I maybe had felt like maybe I had like social anxiety when I was younger, and now it's just like I feel like I could just go up there. Like we literally have one of the comedians be like, "I feel like I'm friends with these guys." Like in the front, like it was interesting.
I tell you, man, we'll take a weekend. You go and Kill Tony, try to get on Kill Tony. We'll take a Donna her class,
dude. I'm fucking down, dude.
Dude, I want to, I want to just, I literally just want to go there. Like I just want to be there and just be a part of, because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, remember when everyone talked about like LA in the early 90s when everything was, it's the same vibe because COVID made everyone flee there. So anyone who has any talent and any drive is already there.
Right. So that's the new Mecca. Dude, I was just watching Fat Tuesdays. It's like this new documentary on
You heard of it?
Prime, but it's all about the black comedy scene in LA in the 90s, the 80s and 90s.
Oh, dude, but it was amazing.
When they talk about just that and how like
Richard Pryor,
Eddie Murphy.
Well, and those guys were already established, but they were talking
Damon
about
Wayans.
more underground.
There was more underground, but it was talking
Martin
about
Lawrence,
and it was talking about how like
Martin Lawrence murdered.
A lot of those guys that got popular because of this one fucking night. They talked about how like they knew when they were there that it was special.
Yeah,
they were like, "Oh, this is the time and the place," and they knew it.
You can just tell, like with Kill Tony, you can tell that Austin, because it's this conservative, super conservative state, but then Austin is this liberal
town,
little town.
Yeah,
it's that got balance where it's like it's not too liberal, but it's also not too conservative. Where if you say so, like no way, like you're gonna find people in the audience who think like you regardless.
Yeah,
and that's what's
you
cool.
can say anything you want, but people will still tolerate.
Exactly. Like there's true tolerance there. If you go up there and you say something stupid that no one thinks is funny, you're not going to get ended.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what's cool about it, because it's like, oh, I can go up there and do real risks. I can go up there and do the dumb rape joke that I did before, and people are gonna like exactly, and people aren't gonna be like, oh, rape is and it's like, dude, I know it's a serious thing. That's the reason I'm joking about it, because it makes you feel something.
Yeah.
Like that's the point of comedy is to just draw that out. Like, oh, is here the line? Oh, step over it. That's what's funny.
You find the humor in tragedy.
Exactly.
You know, that's like we want to laugh because we want to cry.
To me, it's disassociative. You're literally, and it's taking.
You have two options. You can cry, you can laugh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some people just sit there and just want to like ruin people's lives and careers. And in Austin, it's so good because you can tell they get it, and like you just see the jokes and the humor. And Tony's literally just like somebody who decided that it's like, no, you know what? This is my brand.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep going hard, and I don't care. And I respect other people who go hard.
Oh, he's so wonderful, because like I love it. He'll just fucking lay into people.
Oh yeah.
He lays into them so hard, and then he gets like fucking real dudes up there like to also lay into them. Yeah, fucking Joe Rogan, Theo Von, like he'll get like real killers.
We were just watching the new recent Joe Rogan episode, and there was a dude on there, I forget his name, but he like his set was okay, and then like him and Tony just started like roasting each other.
Yeah, right.
I forget what's the
David Lucas.
There's a big black
dude. Yeah, David Lucas. Dude, him and David Lucas going back.
So
he's a regular,
so
right?
Oh yeah, he's great.
I have seen him before.
I don't know if he's friends with Tony and like
him and Tony.
At this point,
what happened is when he came up, I believe the first time he came up, Tony started roasting him, and he started roasting Tony back. And Tony respects when you have the balls to actually be
still comedy.
Like if you're good and you're doing it, that's the thing. What's cool about Kill Tony is like go up there, prove yourself. You can do it. You did it.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. He doesn't care. He doesn't care like. You know what I mean? Like the interviews are supposed to be funny, but if you go up there and you're fun, and
I was gonna say it is kind of like American
yourself,
Idol, where like you do like the bad ones too.
And the formula for sure
That's
is
Tony's part of the show,
right? And the formula for sure is like don't take it personally.
Yeah.
But fucking show up. And if you show up, you get some respect. Now, if you show up and you kill it, and you don't take it personally when we roast
Redman
you,
will book you.
you'll get a fucking
Or
show.
fucking Tony or Joe Rogan. will-
Yeah, or like
Like Hans Kim.
fucking Bill Burr or some shit is also on the panel. Like some
Dude, you saw what's it called? You saw the thing I put of that girl being like, what's it called?
Yo,
my choice.
that was
My bu-
fucking
like,
so
dude,
good.
I want to do the thing that I want to start doing is the Pro Stupid News thing and being like, hey, maybe your next choice could be a salad.
Oh,
like stuff like that, and then being like, "Oh, okay, job of the slut over here."
oh,
Like, you know what I mean?
Job.
But do you know what I mean? Like that's
Zing.
like I've always been kind of harsh. That's why seeing someone like Tony, I'm like, oh, because like I'm not as harsh as Tony, but at least, but like I'm more like sillier than that. But I can get that harsh. So seeing someone who's there, it's like to me, it's like, oh, thank God, like there's someone left in the woke world that is
Oh.
just being like, I don't care. It's
Uh,
about being funny. None of this stuff is serious.
Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz,
Right,
exactly.
like he can, for some reason, he's found like the middle ground.
Oh, Schultz is amazing.
He's found the middle ground where he can roast anyone, and he is a white dude, and for like the most hated of the current whatever, and like but like he's still real, but he's also nice. You know what I mean? But whereas Tony is probably not as broad of an audience. Whereas I think Andrew Schultz is like here.
It's funny
know
that
what I mean?
people can't understand that like it's a personality. It's like
Yeah.
a persona.
Right. It's not
you put
real.
you put it on
Yeah.
because you're trying to
It's like
make
wrestling.
people you're trying to make exactly. No, it's like Tony's the heel.
Wrestling.
Like that's the way it is. Tony Hitchcliff is the heel.
Yeah.
Where he's like trying to make you uncomfortable. He's
Yeah.
trying to do those things.
Yeah.
But like when you take it off, it's like, dude, he's giving Hans Kim a job.
Yeah.
He's given what's it called? The Big Red Machine a job. He's given David Lucas a job.
David
He's
Lucas.
given all those people with disabilities job. Like if you hate Tony, you're an idiot
Yeah.
because you don't understand what a show is
Yeah.
versus who a person is. And I guess I've had that conflict in my life where it's
Yeah.
like, for me, it's like, dude, I've done nothing but try to love people, and then I make a joke, and send some people.
Yeah, right. Like, are we gonna go after like actors who play racist people and accuse them of
Exactly.
being racist?
That's
Yes.
do it.
Yes,
Like, what, the
correct.
only difference is that the comedian's the one writing his own material.
Exactly. The comedian's there standing there being like, "Hey, this is
one
me."
The one who's writing the racist part are the white liberals who are complaining about racism.
Well, the thing that's crazy is like
Sometimes,
the thing
Well,
that's
probably we don't know.
I like the big movies and stuff. You know,
Oh, totally.
probably.
Yeah.
but when you're doing stand up, the thing that's even crazier is like, dude, I was sitting at night and I thought of this, and instead of being like, "Oh, I'm such a horrible person, I should never tell this to anyone," you're like,
Who can
all right.
laugh at this?
"This is so horrible. I need to tell someone." Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah, right,
like
right.
that's
Yeah,
what it
this is horrible, but it's kind of funny. And my one friend laughed at it, and he's an asshole. So I'm gonna see how many other assholes are out there.
Yeah, like I need to share this. This is such a dark thing to think about that I need to share it
If we think
because
this way, other people must somewhere.
yeah, but it doesn't come from a place of like, oh, I want to
Maliciousness.
hurt people.
Oh,
Like
no,
I'm not
no,
telling
no.
a rape joke because
No,
I want
because
someone
if you
to
wanted to
feel
hurt-
bad about rape. I'm telling a rape joke because rape is such a horrible thing that I can't even truly wrap my mind around it. So that's how I relate.
If you
to
wanted
it.
to make someone feel bad, you wouldn't be joking.
Exactly.
It's that
Yeah,
simple.
yeah, because like the guys who do go out there with that intent of like just pure shock value and not being funny,
Mm.
they get roasted.
Yep.
And they get turned down real quick because that intention is disingenuous.
Right.
But when the intention is like, we're gonna laugh at this. Everyone's gonna have a good time.
Right.
That's different. And I think that's what when you see on Kill Tony, you could tell.
You want to be
Like-
laughed with, not laughed at.
Yeah, and you could tell the guys that like are full of themselves.
Right.
It's
You
weird
know.
that people just like it's weird
And
that there are
alcohol
literally
probably
people out there who
helps that.
can't
Yeah.
disassociate. Like they can't disassociate. They sit there and they're like, "No, like it's a horrible thing to joke about." And you're like, "Dude, you don't think I know this?"
They can't detach
Right.
from it.
Exactly.
They do disassociate from the current situation.
Right.
They do they can't detach from the content and the creator and the performer.
Well, that's what I was saying with the analogy of the character, the actor.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy enough for you to separate those two and have your suspension of disbelief. But like, why is comedy not treated the same way? It's an art form.
Well, comedy
Performance.
That's because
Because I know you wrote it.
Yeah,
Like,
and-
that's
and
literally what
com-
it
yeah,
is.
that-
That's
because
literally
comedy's-
the only difference. Yeah.
comedy's at the lowest. It's the lowest form. It's like because what this is what we do. We show up looking like this.
Yeah.
You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
yeah.
Like it's a bunch of normal people that show up and then they're like, oh fuck.
It's a bunch of normal people telling truth in a way that's fun.
telling truth in a way that's fun and it makes you laugh and you feel good. and then you forget about your problems for a while. That's the gift of comedy.
And guess what? I bet a
You know.
bunch of these people who get offended have the same similar kinds of jokes or different kinds of jokes that are similar in ways
Yeah.
amongst their friends.
Oh, of course they
I'm
do.
not saying they're racist or anything, but like
Maybe they. Maybe,
every friend group has that kind of talk.
oh yeah,
At least
like
as far as guys go.
my one buddy Neil. He'll send me the worst memes in the world. The most atrocious, nastiest fucking memes.
Oh, like
and,
How
memes?
dare you?
and I'm just every time I'm like, dude, this is why we're probably on a list. Yeah, same. I'm ready. So
I didn't mean. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
How long have we been going?
We've been going for like 4 hours.
No, it's
No, it's
3
not.
hours.
two
Almost
and a
three.
quarter.
Yeah, that's
2 and a
nothing. We've
quarter
done-
I
we've-
hours.
forgot how much.
Two-
I
two
forgot how much
hours.
time we spent prepping.
I do got to head out.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I do got to head out. But yeah,
What were you saying?
let's fucking go to Austin, dude.
Yeah, dude,
Let's
we
fucking
definitely
go to
should.
Austin.
Do a quick weekend there.
I'm down. If you give me like a month ahead, I could probably call off. You know, and then
I could do that.
Yeah, man.
fucking
It's cheap enough to do things there.
yeah.
Things are cheap. Things are nice. It's a great little town. And what's
You
it
could
called?
take a Donner class and a Gordon class.
Dude, what is it like? 4-hour plane ride? Not even like.
Oh, if you want
Yeah,
to take a
some-
plane,
something like that.
or it's a 24-hour drive
Yeah.
With-
No.
with Nashville 12 hours. We did it.
I'm okay with
Ugh.
I'm okay with flying next time.
Let's do a plane. So, look, can we fly?
You drive.
Yeah.
We'll meet you down there.
Yeah. Dude, let's
Hey,
fly.
you guys aren't driving when I'm driving around.
Dude, oh,
You guys could spend all the money on the
I'll
Ubers.
rent,
We'll
rent
rent
a
the
car.
car.
I don't give
Yeah,
a
exactly.
fuck, dude.
Dude, do you know how much it costs to rent a car?
I don't care, man. It's
It's way expensive.
fucking. Dude,
That's why we drove.
I'll rent a scooter.
No, like a rent a car within
Dude,
the city.
They do have a scooter. They have the bird scooters.
I'll
the
rent the
electric.
scooter.
No,
dude.
we can rent a car in Austin and be cheap enough.
It's not cheap. That's the thing. That's why we
It could be
drove.
Turo. We
dude.
can do
and that
that.
was back then. It's so expensive.
I mean, yeah, Uber.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Everything's
Yeah, but if
expensive,
it's
man.
like a quick weekend.
Nah, dude,
whatever.
we should drive. If you drive, you just split it up.
How's everything expensive except living there?
Vinny,
I don't know.
been across the country 7 times.
7.
I'm done. I'm done. I've done that shit, bro. I
Mm,
did that shit growing up, man. I
Yeah,
can't. I can't sit in the car for that long, man.
yeah.
You'll have a panic attack.
Oh, dude, I have panic attack anyways. Oh, that's besides the point.
You'll have a panic attack because you got there too quickly.
I'm just over it.
Having one right now.
I'm having one right now. I'm just, dude. It's like I can't sit in the car that long anymore. You know, when you're young, you can do that shit, but like, dude, I'm fucking old. Let's get fucking business class. Let's get. I want my neck thing. I want to watch The Hobbit. I'm gonna get a Jack and Coke at 11:30. Okay.
Did you know those neck things are supposed to be on your front, by the way?
Really?
Yeah, because your head goes down when
Oh
you sleep.
shit.
Yeah, I didn't know that until recently.
Oh fuck.
Like, I can't wait to go on a plane.
Dude, I'm fucking old, Vinny. I'm taking a plane, bro.
How old are you now, Chris? 35?
34, bro.
34? Yeah, dude, I'm
Yeah.
37.
37.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I
dude.
know, dude. It's coming up.
Oh,
It's like,
God.
dude, you hit 40. You're officially.
You're on
I sent you that meme. It was like the kids from Jurassic Park. And
Yeah.
they're hiding in that kitchen from the Raptors,
Yeah.
and they're like hiding behind like the steel like big thing, and the Raptors are like around the corner, and the kids were like 80s kids,
Oh,
and
no.
the Raptors were 40.
middle age.
Yeah,
Dude,
40
dude, what, fight, we're on
Oh
the
yeah,
we're,
I'm getting the same meme, but it just says 30.
for 30.
we're on the ropes, dude.
Yeah, dude. Why do you think I want to go? Like now, I'm like, oh, this isn't like.
Let's go.
Oh, I
dude.
can go to Texas in like 10 years. Like, dude, in
No.
10 years, I'm gonna be 47 years old.
And Texas in Austin won't be a hotspot.
Yeah.
It'll be somewhere else.
So yeah,
Yeah,
no, we
dude.
could, dude. Definitely, you gotta. If you're around more and stuff like that, I don't know what you're doing. I guess.
Well, I finally have my license back after.
Yeah. What was
6
that
years.
about?
Well, I got sued from that car accident.
That was all the way till now.
No, so like they sued me, and then I had this massive fine that was like $13,000, and I didn't pay it off on time because I'm me.
Mhm.
And well, fuck the government. What are they gonna do? They take my license away, and they take away my
Fair enough.
privilege. And then like once I paid it off, I was able to get my license back, and now I drive, you know. And so like no, I'm not driving to Austin, but I'll drive. I'll drive. Vinny, you could drive to Austin.
Shell font. Yeah.
Shall do. I fucking drove to Shelby. It's an
Dude,
hour and a half.
we literally did it in February because Nashville's 12 hours away.
Oh god.
Yeah. No, it's rough, but at the same time, it's fun. And we got three cameras now. We could just film.
God,
Just
can't-
here's Chris having his 4th panic attack.
Every
Why did you make me do this?
Totally, dude.
every POV of each seat.
Dude, I can't. I'd rather have a panic attack on a plane because you know what? We'll be in Austin in 2 hours. So let's just do that.
Yeah, whatever. We should look at prices. No, dude, we should definitely do that for sure. We go for. We
Yeah.
shouldn't do for. We should definitely do like a week because it's not.
I
Like,
can get time off.
If I get enough time ahead, knowing I could probably do it.
the cool thing is you can go anytime because it's warm. It's nice.
Oh God,
And we can go off season to save money on tickets.
dude, it's gonna get cold soon.
Ugh.
It's gonna suck.
So yeah, exactly.
It's gonna suck
So
real soon,
Go
dude.
yeah, another thing that makes Texas cool is
Oh,
like,
it's warm.
No, it snowed and downpoured on us in Dallas.
yeah, in February once in like 30 years we
I'll take-
happen to be.
I'll
there.
take the rain.
No, twice in one year.
Was it rain?
What?
No, we
No,
got
dude,
snowed
we
in.
got snowed
We
in
got
in
three
Dallas.
snowed
We got
in?
3
Dude.
fucking days.
Yeah, we'll wrap this. We'll wrap this up soon. But
The only place
here's-
to eat was fucking Whataburger.
Oh,
we had Whataburger so much, dude. When I got home, I had gained like 15 pounds.
Oh God, that's all you can
That
eat.
shit, baby.
Oh,
So literally, we go to Dallas. We're like, oh, it's February. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna get away
Right
from
on,
the
I think you're
cold.
a
It's gonna be
chocolate squirrel.
great.
yeah.
We thought it was gonna be sweet. So we go the first night. We go see a rodeo.
Oh,
we're in
sick.
we're in
That was
Fort
dope.
we're in
Fort
Fort Worth. We're like, dude, this is like white people central.
Oh God.
Like, dude, people who are like 21 years old having families of like 5. We're
Oh,
like, this is
God.
crazy. Yeah,
Oh God.
everything. Yeah,
There
it
were a
was-
lot of hot blondes there.
yeah, dude, it was nuts.
They were the
Oh,
exact same
bummer.
one.
So then
Terrible.
we're like, oh, cool. So we stay at this retarded Dr. Dave's house, who I couldn't believe was a doctor. But anyways, the next
I
day.
believe he was a person.
How did
Yeah.
you save people?
So anyway, yeah, no, dude. But anyways, the next time we're like, it's like, oh, it's gonna rain a lot, and then it's gonna drop to like 21 degrees. We're like, we're in Texas, right?
What's 21 Celsius? Degrees.
Yeah. No, so we're like, what? And so me and Goran just were like, oh, I guess we're gonna have to like stay in Dallas longer than we wanted to.
In our
So we
shitty hotel.
So we get a hotel room, and for the next 3 days, it's just no. And dude, in Dallas, when it snows, everything's closed.
Everything shuts down.
everything.
Yeah. No, me and
They
Goran.
don't
I
even
was
salt the
dude,
roads.
the joke that I started thinking of, I was like, dude, I wish I could do like when we went to Austin when they got up, I was like, I wish I could do like even just a minute because
Yeah.
I wish I could go up and be like, hey, we're from up north, and like if we brought like a shovel,
forgot
we
a
could have
shovel in
been
our
like
car.
folk heroes.
We could have been home.
Yeah, because dude, people had no clue that we literally saw people in like Dodge Chargers burning out and just spinning in circles, and we were like, dude, all you have to do is press the gas lighter.
Yeah.
Like people were driving like insane people, and people just like had no clue. They just like blocked off roads. They were like, "There's snow on this, no driving."
Dude,
And I was
no salt. It was like a ice skate rink.
Yeah,
it's like
so
eh,
smooth.
Drive really slow.
and I was, dude. Me and Goran were driving out. We were like, "This is not a big deal."
This is not.
And
fun.
everyone up, you see people going like 40 miles an hour and just sliding sideways, and you're like, "Oh, these people have never seen snow.
They don't get it.
Like, they don't get it."
They don't
And
get
I was
it.
like, dude, it literally, if we had a shovel and a plow truck, we could have been like the Davy Crockett.
The saving grace
Texas.
is that at least we had like electricity in the hotel, and they figured out the power grid problems from like the year before.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
But literally, we
that
could've-
would've
been-
sucked.
I would've been like, all right, we're going home.
But no joke, if
Yeah.
we brought a truck and had stuff, they would have been like, they're just pushing it. Like they're just pushing it out of the way, and then they're driving all over like it's normal.
And then behind them, it's normal because of the salt.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly,
it's-
dude.
so,
Oh,
yeah,
so
that's
that's
what-
what that salt's for.
So we did that. Yeah, we did that. Then we went to we went to the Sixers game, Sixers
was dope.
Mavs, which was awesome.
Sixers
That was really
mad.
cool. And then,
Joel Embiid, baby.
and then we went to Austin. We saw a comedy show like the first night we were there, and then
Okay.
we went to go to another comedy show, and the water main broke, and they closed everything. So me and Goran were like,
no.
screw it, and took a 16-hour drive to Florida.
Orlando.
You like, let's get some sunshine.
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
Pretty much.
let's-
Well, it was on our list, and we were debating New Orleans for a while, but we
Yeah.
just couldn't find a place that had like cheap enough parking.
Everything
fair.
was like
It's
the
just-
hotel's
like,
$100, and it's like, oh, and parking's also $100. So we were
I
like,
was like, I
oh.
see what you
It
did
was
there.
also like 2 weeks before Mardi Gras, so like everyone's like not there yet.
Yeah.
It was kind of barren, so it wasn't worth it.
But yeah, so
Oh.
we did the drive,
We, like,
12
left,
hours
like-
to Nashville.
We left like 11 p.m.
Yeah, no,
Orlando.
we had a good time. And what's it called? Yeah.
no, it was totally.
Lauren
cool.
drove what? You drove what? 6 hours out of the.
No,
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
I drove from.
Gordon's
Baton
in the
Rouge.
back with the pillow.
I drove.
No, I was awake for a
85.
lot.
I drove for
You drove for-
85%.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
because I'm built for that. But then
Yeah.
there were times where like I would be Goran's like, "Do you want me to drive?" And I'm like cramped up, like, "No, man, I'll be fine." Goran's like, "You should let me drive." I'm like, "Okay."
No. You
the
fine.
man-
No. I'd let you drive. I was like, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you finally mentioned you're like, I think you're gonna need to drive on this one.
I'm dying.
Yeah. No, I
We
dude. I
left
was
at 11 p.m. and it was like 5 in the morning when we got to Baton Rouge, and like you woke me up. I'm like, all right,
Fuck up,
fine."
fuckers.
Yeah.
Take the wheel.
I'm like, fine. This is the first time I get to drive when I'm in fucking Baton Rouge and like everyone's going down like 90 miles an hour down the highway.
But yeah, dude, it's a lot of
All
fun.
right.
You should definitely come.
All right, I'm down.
But anyways, guys, I'm sorry. Normally we do political stuff, but this is catching up with a good friend. It's a good time. Chris, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very
It
much.
was a lot of fun.
This
This
was
might have been the most fun we've had doing it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
guys. Thank you.
Goran, thanks for being here. Mike, thanks for doing,
What
your
you
stuff
do.
and stuff. Yeah. Give him a applause to Mike. Live studio audience.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
But everyone, follow us at the Pro Stupid Podcast on Rumble and on YouTube, obviously, and on Instagram. Also, follow my buddy Chris and Gorn at their handles. I don't know what they are because I'm a bad friend, but
On the
we'll
screen.
figure it out. Huh?
It's on the screen.
Yeah, it's on the screen. But everyone, have a good night. Peace out. Hopefully, we'll see you again soon.
God bless.
Oh, they hurt.
All right.
Let's fucking go.
Come to his dad.
They say for me, I hate it when they do that. And I'm the greatest now. I said it before I knew that. I'm way too connected. I